as it were, the noise of thunder. One of the four beasts saying, "Come and see." And I saw, and behold,
spaghetti.
Spaghetti. Spaghetti.
Breakdown.
No! Nice try, Ignis. Feels good. Motherfucker. His face fell back. Alright, well, now that we've done all that, where the fuck were you 20 minutes ago, huh? God, I love this game! One, later, bitch! Alright!
Dude, if I had a gym, I'd probably be home all day.
Back up, Kratos! Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to a very special episode of the Peter Long Podcast. I'm here with my friend Deadpool. Deadpool, say hi.
Hola.
And we are here doing a CivRep debate. Just a little background about the debate. Deadpool came to me a few weeks ago and asked me to, well, he asked if he could host a debate for the current CivRep applicants. I thought it was a good idea, so we're going to work together and we're going to host this debate. Not all of the Civ reps that you can vote for could make it tonight. However, I am here with a bunch of them, and we're going to go ahead and introduce them now. Let's see here. Why don't we start at the list? Nerdy Guy, say hi and why you want to be Civ rep.
Hi, so I do videos and stuff like that. Well, I want to be Civ rep because I want to make things fun like it was in like 2016, 2017. So yeah, vote for me.
And then we got Corey.
Yo, what's up, guys? I'm basically only running as the, common man, just trying to make everybody's voices heard, through a voting process. Yeah, that's basically it.
Homicide.
What's up? It's your boy Homicide. I'm running for Civ Rep because I got 3,000 plus hours and I know what you need. Just vote for me. It is what it is.
Lorex.
Hey guys, I'm Lorax. I'm here to free the boys and make Olympus great again.
Okay. Chubby.
I'm here to revitalize dead content like delivery missions.
User was moved to your channel.
Hunter, go ahead and say hi.
Hey, I've been here for like 2 years, and I'm gonna make it my absolute pleasure to make sure that Doc knows how to handle a compensation request. Thank you.
Oh, yikes. And then Matt the Savage.
Hi, I'm here to change Olympus back to its old ways. It's gone downhill since then, and I feel like the recent Civ reps have been a bunch of snowflakes, and I am the right man for the job.
And then a late addition, Pablo Escobar. Why don't you state your, well, obviously your name, and why you want to be a Civ rep?
Yo, I'm Pablo Escobar. I want to be a Civ rep because I'm going to make Olympus good.
Cocaina.
All right, so the way this is going to work for everybody in the chat who's listening to the debate, if you have a question you want to ask the Civ reps, go ahead and enter the Olympus TeamSpeak and get in the Civ rep waiting lounge channel. It's below the event channel that we're all in right now. You guys can wait in there to ask your question potentially at the end of the stream, or type it in chat and I will ask the Civ reps. If you have a targeted question you want to ask somebody individually, just go ahead and put it in the chat, and they will relay it to me, and we can get these questions going. Okay, so guys, the first question on the docket. Well, first of all, is everybody ready?
Yeah,
born and raised.
They're born and raised ready. All right. First question. What are your thoughts or your stances on the current state of the Olympus entertainment community?
I think it's going downhill.
All right, Matt, you got 1 minute, and you're on the floor. Go ahead. Yep. Why do you think it's going downhill?
I would say 2016, 2017 Olympus. There's a plethora of things you could do on Olympus, right? You could. It's time for a face. Okay, you could fight cartels. You could scat and Kavala. You could do the whole like run rob thing, right? And you could just generally freely like do runs and shit. Right now Olympus cartels suck ass.
I'd probably just helicopter that thing all day.
Kavala's kind of an option. That shit blows. It's not really as fun. Once you start like actually doing shit in Kavala, there's like 20 cops. In the runs thing, there's like 20 cops. Runs kind of suck. I don't know. Making money's kind of a bitch. And all around the community in general has just kind of died out. All you can see, all the old players are leaving into a bunch of new like random kids. It's not really like a community anymore. Like it used to be, everyone knows each other, and we're all like low key friends, but also like we're enemies. You know what I mean? Now it's like I don't know who like 75% of the people are here, and I think just slowly and steadily, gang life is just dying, and eventually it'll just be dead and no one will play.
Does anybody have a rebuttal for Matt?
I mean, he's right. Gang life is pretty much fucking dead.
All right, so that'll lead me to the next question then, and this is for all of you. Matt says gang life is dead. What do you guys plan to do to fix it?
Free the boys.
Okay, Lorax, hang on. Lorax was the first to pipe up. Lorax, you got a minute. Go ahead.
I think we should unban some of the old players to bring back the population. The problem is now I don't think many of them would even come back at this point. I think lowering the price of Ifrits and or adding an illegal type of insurance thing where it isn't the full cost of an Ifrit, but you're still able to insure them. Because a lot of people currently don't use Ifrits at fights, which is kind of killing it. Because the amount of Quillins, no one really wants to fight that shit. Because you get shit frame rate when they're all on cap. No one can even fight at that point, and it's just boring having them slam one at a time. I think lowering the price of Ifrits to around 500k per, then adding the price of insurance to say 350k per Ifrit would bring back people. Like there'd be a point of using Ifrits to push the cap, because you wouldn't be losing as much. Oh yeah, you wouldn't be losing as much when you do lose that Ifrit pushing the cap. Because a lot of people right now, for the price of a Quillin and how good it actually is, it's better just to use that, and then everyone just gets pissed off because everyone's pushing solo.
Anybody else have anything to say on the matter?
I agree with him. I don't know if the right thing is to lower the price of Ifrits. I think more like to make kind of like, well, first of all, the meta right now is just Quillins, which is why you guys up the price of Quillins. It's literally you just singly push in Quillins, and it's like hard to shoot kids out when you do. You peek, you get shot, whatever. So I think change it back to more Ifrit style fighting. And so I think because like getting an Ifrit like chopped or stolen is like, it sucks. It's like, what is the price now? 750k?
Right now it's 500k because the donation goal. Then it's going back up to 625.
All right, 625. I think the price for re-keychaining it should be lower, because it's like you get an Ifrit, then it's like, oh, now you have to pay 250k for the Ifrit, and some people might not even be able to afford that. Some could. I don't know. I feel like instead of chopping Ifrits and collecting the money, I think you should be able to re-key them for like a lower price. And I also like the idea of unbanning like the prime kids. Like for an example, when you know how Regicide all got permed? When they were when all the dupers were unbanned, gang life was popping. There was fights every day. Who just messaged me? Oh, there was fights every day. And just gang life was popping. I think if you did that to Prime, because right now, like I'm in TI, when I get on to fight, there's literally no competition. All the other gangs are trash. Like it's not even fun to play. And also, I think a gang war point garage would be lit. Like you could buy Ifrits with war points. I don't know, just an idea to add to be able to like buy more Ifrits. Stop spamming me. People are just spamming me on TeamSpeak. Sorry. Also like another way to, cause like honestly, fighting cartels is expensive. Like it's not cheap, and a lot of cartel fighters either buy their money or they play cop. They don't really do runs, and personally I don't think they'll ever really do runs because they just play Olympus to fight. And I know like the admins don't want to like please them by making it easier to get money, but if you want to keep gang life,
Matt, that's a minute.
Let me speak. If you want to keep gang life like alive, I think you have to kind of like help them out a little bit and not just have it towards the whole role play, do runs, rob, all that. I think you should kind of help them out a little bit.
All right, well, I'm just gonna stop you there. I'm gonna like say something. We'll go ahead and homicide.
Yeah. I do agree with him about the gang life situation, but I think that maybe we should be putting something else at the cartel for them to fight for. Other than them just fighting for, oh, I own the cartel, that means I don't get charged taxes. Maybe we should fight for the money.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention that. I think you should add like how Asylum has dirty money.
Yeah, like fight for the money at the cartel. That way they have to fight for that money that's been stored there throughout the server. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Asylum took that out. It goes directly into the gang bank now, but a system like that would be a lot better for Olympus.
Yeah.
Or you could do the auto generate that Asylum had, but you have to go and empty it out like Asylum had. Because I preferred that a lot more.
I like
that
too.
I've been saying.
Why are you even comparing Olympus and Asylum?
I've been saying.
Time out. Whoa. Stop. Hunter, go ahead.
I just think everybody here has had way too much to drink. Like, this solution
half a beer
is so
deep, dog.
simple to everything. All you need to do is have Deadpool write down all his ideas on a list, vote for me, and I'll just make it all happen. It's.
I mean,
Are
you serious? Okay. First of all,
wait. Let me finish. There are 20,000 unique users on the.
Alright, let's boot this kid. Let's boot this kid.
Matt, give him the floor. There's
about 250 to 300 players every day. So for you guys saying that Olympus is dying, I think you guys need desperate help. Because if you just look at the statistics, just on the forums itself, you guys are just making stuff up.
No one's saying Olympus is dying. We're saying that gang life at Cartel Island is fucking basically dead.
Let me condense it for you. Gang life is just robbing and feds. Cartel life is Cartel Island and just fighting at cartels. That what they're saying is dead is the cartel life. Gang life is still somewhat alive and floating around because federal events still happen and bribes still happen frequently. But they're just partying it.
I'm reading you in. You're not running.
And also no one
So take exactly what Deadpool just said and then just act like I just said.
Also no one is comparing Olympus with Asylum because each server has its own unique just listen, because each server has its own unique things that they do have that are good ideas, and maybe that good idea would work best in our server.
Yeah, there's not an issue with doing that. If someone's doing something that's really good, why should we not, at least...
Yeah, like... Okay, hang on. I'm bringing you guys in.
Asylum would be doing better than Olympus?
Nerdy guy, you have the floor. Go ahead.
Alright, so, here's what I'm thinking. This is probably the most controversial thing you'll hear. We should add NLR back to Warzone. And now, and I've said this on my live stream, we should add back a 5 to 7 minute NLR. One of the biggest things I hear people complain about is getting shot in the back by, and I'm not going to name names, individuals that get killed on cap and then come back and shoot you in the back, and it's annoying AF, right? So if we add back an NLR, okay, and I'm not telling you like a 15 because a 15 is drastic, but 5 to 7 minutes allows someone to gear up at Warzone Rebel and then go back in and then have another fight. We get clear-cut winners. That's what I miss about 2016 and early 2017. There are no winners at cartel fights anymore. It's just who has the most money to spend.
I'd like to comment on that.
I agree with him on that.
I'm going to make a comment on that, and then who just wanted to make a comment?
Matt.
Okay, hang on. I want to point out adding NLR or removing NLR to cartels initially was seen as a way to bolster cartel life. Now, Nerdy, you think that's maybe inhibiting it now?
I do. I think it's because people don't like losing their loadouts to someone that shoots them in the back.
Nerdy's right.
That's very much the issue right now.
Matt,
And I was personally opposed to it when we added NLR back. Well, no NLR back.
Can I? Are you done?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I agree that I think that was an issue when like TI had their gang shed on Cartel Island, Prime had their gang shed on Cartel Island. You could get to Warzone in 30 seconds, get back to Cartel in another 30 seconds. But now that we no longer can spawn on the island, I don't think we need to add NLR back. It takes at probably maybe if you're like Godspeed 4 minutes to get back to that cartel. If you haven't finished a fight in that time, I mean, most fights finish. I mean, if you're pushing like if it's like how it used to be, most fights will finish in 4 minutes. Like,
the issue is the Ruby push, Matt.
I mean,
which is like a 15-minute push.
I don't think fights should be lasting 4 minutes.
Time out. Chubby, you have the floor. Go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, I think fights should last longer than 4 minutes. I like how the Quillen meta has helped with that. Fights are longer now, so I agree with Nerdy. I think we need to add NLR or make it harder to get back to Warzone Rebel.
Can I make?
Can
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
comment?
Go ahead.
Who's asking to comment?
Matt the Cabbage. He said that that there should be NLR. It was something about like getting back to Warzone. If you have NLR, you can't go to Warzone Rebel until that's up. Like you contradicted yourself in your.
No, I'm saying.
Wait. Well,
they need to either add NLR or make it harder to get back to Warzone Rebel.
I mean, and I understand what Matt's saying, why NLR was removed in the first time, but literally, like when you're on Civ, that's all the complaining that you hear is about, oh, people keep coming back and they're shooting us in the back because there's no NLR. So I mean, I get like at that time people wanted no NLR because there was so many fights, but maybe now if we do introduce a bit of NLR, like a few minutes, it'll give people time to collect themselves, collect their thoughts, and be able to actually have an actual fight. And not a bunch of bats shooting you from a bunch of fucking bots shooting at you from Windmill Hill.
Alright,
I think fights
I have
should
a
last
couple
longer.
ideas.
Alright, hang on. Pablo, go ahead.
So I feel like gang life is kind of dead. It's the same old cartels every time. Maybe if we added new cartels, implement like new strategies to push the cartels. Maybe add like a shorter NLR for like, I don't know if devs can do that. Like a shorter NLR for cartels, or maybe just in Warzone. But if you put like a 5-minute NLR, it's not gonna matter because you can get there. I mean, you're gonna be ready to go back in that time. You know what I mean?
Jess can do that.
I can tell you straight from Jesse's mouth, anything is possible.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
Wait,
can
I
comment?
All right.
For the people in here.
You can channel your inner Deadpool. Go ahead.
Like, so
Okay.
how many people in here are in like cartel fighting gangs that are like not like?
Hang on, don't say I. Say your name. So
Can
that
you
the stream
wait?
knows.
No, can you type in chat? Like everyone type in chat what gang you're in.
I mean,
What if
I'm in
my-
meme check right
what if
now.
My
So.
gang name is my Twitch plug.
Like I'm in TI. Loris is in TI. What like just please.
We have
more
Tree.
warning
We have
aspects for
SB.
cartels.
Can
Dude,
I
like
comment on Warzone
Tree,
for a second,
SB,
though?
they don't fight cartel. Like I'm not trying to be like an asshole, but like.
Hey, that's the
when
old meme, Matt. That's the old one.
Sorry,
Well,
bro,
what
but like
server do you play
when
on?
it.
Because I mean, that always depends on what cartels. Because you
Just
know, you
let me
can't
speak.
tell.
Let me speak. When it
Hang
when
on,
it
no,
comes.
hang on. We'll let Corey get the floor after you.
All right, when it comes to like I'm not trying to be like an asshole, right? But like I feel like you guys don't know what you're talking about because you guys don't fight cartels. Some of these gangs I've never seen on Warzone Island. Like,
Well, I mean,
like-
to be fair, I haven't been able to say anything about cartel. I keep trying to pitch in, but
well, you can speak after me, but I'm just saying like, just some of you guys don't fight cartels, so I feel like you can't really have like a.
All right, I want to hear
strong
what Corey
impact
says.
on the decision.
We're gonna go to Corey. So go ahead, Corey.
So I'm just gonna start off, from the beginning of where we were with Ifrits and stuff. First off, the main point that stuck with me is you guys said you want lower price on Ifrits, and you guys want to see more Ifrits, and and you guys are complaining mainly about lag, which I don't understand why you're complaining about lag with Quillins when with Ifrits you pop smokes and that crashes.
Who complained about lag?
No, it's not lag, it's frame rate. When you have like 20 quillins on cap, you go down to like sub 50
that's
frames.
way different. See, that's like what I'm saying.
That'll crash your game though. I mean, your frames will go down, but like what you said, you get like 75 frames still.
No, you get sub 50 frames, like below
less than 50.
Oh, yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, when they're like 15 quillins on banana, like it's
and
horrible.
Then it also prevents you from pushing onto that spot. When you go up to vendor and there's 10 quillins blocking vendor, you can't do anything there.
I mean,
because Ghostface made a monument.
You're either gonna have, you're gonna have to choose between the two worst because everybody's gonna push with as many vehicles as they can because that's more targets. And now they're probably not gonna have as many Ifrits because they're more expensive than quillins. But pushing with Ifrits is I mean that's cool and all, but just the smokes itself, it can bring people down to 2 frames, and I mean
it's not actually that bad for your hand smokes. If you spam those will kill your frame rate. But Ifrit smokes, if you pop one smoke in a smashing window, it's not bad. Like you'll still stay well.
Yeah, I don't drop frames with Ifrit smoke
unless you have a
okay. All right, so we're gonna move on to another section of the questioning.
Finally.
So. As it states now, you guys are talking about cartel fighting in gang life in general. But there is another factor to being a civ rep. You don't only represent gangs who fight on cartels. You also represent vigilantes. You represent Kavala scats. You represent normal people who are doing normal runs as well. You represent RP gangs. You represent everybody on the server who's not in a whitelisted faction. One of those groups that I talked about that you guys will be potentially representing are Vigis. Many people put in their application to be civ rep that they're going to either fix or remove Vigis as a part of their goals as being a potential civ rep. Does anybody want to comment on that?
I did.
Stop.
Holy fuck.
I heard the name Homicide. So Homicide, you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Alright, first of all, I don't know why people complain so much about fucking Vigis, bro. Like, the system for Vigis is perfectly fine. They have to rank it up, like I don't get it. Like, why do people, Vigi this, Vigi that? Vigis are fucking rats. I mean, Vigis are just another fucking player, just like us. Like, I don't understand why people have to complain about fucking Vigis. The Vigi system is perfect the way it is.
Can I speak?
Go ahead, Matt. If you want to
go after Matt.
And then, hang on, who was Corey? You want to go after Matt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I go after Corey?
Yes.
Alright, the only problem I really see with Vigis is that it's not like no one cares about the kids that are in Kavala that are Viging, right? It's the Vigis that come to Cartel, right? And if you're fully geared and can't kill a Vigi at a Cartel, like honestly, you're dog shit. But so the point is that it should be harder for Vigis to go from Vigi to Rebel. Either it costs more. I think it should cost more because people don't get pissed when they get tased fully geared. It's when they're running up to Rebel. There's kid camping with the Vigi. Like the whole point of Vigis is not to sit at Rebel. It's to like fight crime and Kavala and shit. You know what I mean?
Well, the point I'm gonna rebut your statement for you. The point of Vigis is for another avenue for players to have a role in the community. What they do with that role is up to them. Whether or not they want to be guys who are fighting the RDMers of Kavala, or if they're guys who want to fight other big gangs with vigilante loadouts within the vigilante rules. It's whatever the other people in the community make of it. So I'm just going to leave that out there. Now, Corey, you wanted to go after Matt, so go ahead.
Yeah, so vigilantes, let's be honest, are either failed cops, can't apply for cops, in some way they want to be like a cop, or they can't meet the standards, or they just somehow, some way can't be a cop. Vigilantes, they're not going away. I mean, honestly, I don't have a problem with vigilantes. If you want to deal with vigilantes, you go get yourself a 7.62 and put around into them. I mean, they're not going to get rid of something that they advertise in the server name. So, and vigilantes camping cartels, rebels and all that stuff, I mean, deal with it. I mean, expect somebody to be there. I mean, I can get it. I play as a rebel, I always have a 7.62, and it is absolutely cancerous when you get tased by a vigilante. But, I mean, they're there, and they make the game more exciting. They make it more fun. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I like to play it risky. I'm $1 million bounty, and I'll go running through fucking Kavala with nothing but an AKM and a carrier light, and I see how many Vigis I can shoot, So they're definitely a major plus in the game for me. I absolutely love trying to, run away from them and kill them, and then
That's
whoever
what
gets
I'm
my bounty,
saying.
that's a prize for them. But if you're stupid enough to run into rebel or cartel without expecting people to be there, you just absolutely deserve to get tased, restrained, and sent to jail or killed.
There
Can I
you go.
comment
That's
on that?
exactly what I'm trying
No,
to
no,
do.
no.
Yeah, I'd like to comment on that
We
too.
need people.
Go
We
ahead,
need
Chubby.
we need vigilantes at the cartels because I'm gonna use Conor McGregor as an example. He has 534 gang homicides to his bounty. Right now, he's #1 on the server for bounty, 17 million. 80% of his charge is just from gang homicides, and I'm sure that almost all of those kills happened on cartels. And so, if you want to tell me that a Vigi shouldn't go on cartels, then all those bounties that are racking up are just going to be cartel fighters.
Can I speak?
Can I speak?
Go ahead,
I-
Pablo.
no. Oh, come on.
I think vigilante shouldn't be changed at all. It's pretty fair. They've already been increased the price to get the license. It used to be just, you could buy any taser, buy a vest. And you've already nerfed them enough. It's easy to take them away as a cop. I wouldn't say easy, but there's multiple ways you can. I mean, if most of the people that want to get rid of Vigis, they just get Vigied by them, and that's their fault.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
But, go ahead.
Alright, so for Vigis, I think they should change it over to a system much like other servers, where you get a certain amount of bounties you can go after. Because right now, a lot of them, the problem that we're not having is Vigis fighting us when we're geared, but they will go and just sit at every single Rebel, Warzone, and Kavala, or at our gang sheds, and just down us the second we spawn in, and then we're screwed. So we can't even defend ourselves. I think they should change it over to where you do get bounties of certain individuals, so you load in, and you get 10 random bounties, but it shows you where that person is. So you go out and you pursue them and hunt them, much like a bounty hunter would do in real life, instead of just sitting in the middle of a Theo or Kavala waiting for one guy to run by. You're out actually pursuing the person, and it's only a limited group, so you can't go and just sit and grab everyone worth over 100k.
Can I comment on that?
Go ahead, Corey.
All right, so that process, I mean, to me, no offense, seems absolutely dumb. I mean, to be honest, I don't know if you've ever tried Vigilante. When I first joined the server like 2 years ago, I first tried Vigilante, and I would hate that system personally as a Vigilante because if you're chasing down specific people, right? So most of these people you're gonna see in you're not gonna see them. They're like you said, they're cartel fighters. So if you have to chase them down, right, you're playing a guessing game of where they're at. Vigilantes are going to make it nowhere. They're not going to be able to do anything,
I'm saying you give a specific area, like they're able to track them, much like on Asylum. Because on Asylum, I can say I've made a lot of money bounty hunting, and it shows you exactly where you are, where the person is. So you have a circle about 1 kilometer big, and it's pretty easy to find that person within that area.
Yeah,
it's the whole point of you're just not sitting camping at an area for hours on end while everyone else is fighting.
So you guys were just, some people are just complaining about getting, tased by vigilantes, and now you want to add, you want to make it so that way they can, specifically see where you're at. I feel like people are not going to go for that.
Yeah, it's a general location. It's not like a dot right on you. It's much like
but like
the
pharmaceutical. What did you just say exactly? It is easy to see where they are at. So you just kind of went against yourself with saying, oh, it's not like you can easily find them, even though you just said it is easy to find them that kilometer circle. So
it's not easy. It's not really that easy in that kilometer circle.
Kavala, you're gonna know that they're in the Kavala area, like around square or hospital.
So so put yourself in the shoes of the rebel. You would like to be able to be
Asylum. I play on a lot of different servers, and I find that works the best out of any bounty hunter system on any server.
I just feel like personally for the Olympus community that they will not jump for that. I mean, without putting my own opinion on it, I just don't think they're going to jump for that because already the majority are complaining against vigilantes. If you ever even looked at the forums, you'll see 20,000 posts. Vigilantes are toxic. Remove vigilantes and stuff. People can say it's for the meme, but you know that those people do not like vigilantes, and so they are definitely not going to jump at the idea of having a little circle on the map telling the vigilantes where you're at. Especially if it is just a small group anyways. I mean, vigilantes, if people want them to be fair, I think vigilantes should be able to see whoever that, like, if they go in the city, right, and they should remain in the system just the way it is, so that way they can pull up their wanted list and they can do the work of looking up the names and not having a little freebie of finding people.
All right, we're gonna do, guys, listen up. We're gonna do time out. We're gonna do 60 more seconds on this topic, and then we're gonna move on. Go ahead, Hunter.
Hasn't it already been guaranteed that vigilantes aren't going to be removed?
Vigilantes are, as of right now, as far as I know.
So why?
There's no plans for removing vigilantes on our Altus Live
Why are
servers.
we talking about vigilantes if we've already been told that A, they're not going to be removed?
Because
and B,
the
they're not gonna
plan
nerf
isn't
them.
to remove them; it's to
change
try
them.
to
To change
But
what?
what is there to change? It's
Change
already
what?
Let me put it this way. It was brought
There's
to me as a
multiple things to
civ rep.
change.
It was brought to me by multiple people that they don't like Vigi back in my first term. And I went on an outrage about it, and me and Peter in the staff meeting ended up making a change for Vigilante. What we have now, in my opinion, is a very balanced Vigilante system. However, I personally don't like them, but other people in the community may not like them, may like them.
No one
what
likes
we're
Vigis.
All
Who
right,
likes
and we're done.
It's
And
part
we're
of the
done.
fucking
Time out.
system.
We're done. We're done with Vigi
Next
talk.
topic.
Next one. Go ahead, Deadpool.
Now, you guys are gonna love this one. Is what's your thoughts and stance on the current state of the current APD?
Now, before you guys start answering, we have Commander Rex as the chief of police in the channel with us. Rex, you can feel free to respond to any of the people who pipe up more than most, and you can put your opinion out there, so to speak. So, guys, what do you think about the APD?
So, can I comment on this first?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
So I have like 600 plus hours in Civ, and then only 100 on Copper. So by no means am I like a career cop. So I definitely concede both sides, and people saying that the APD is too powerful, or are the APD saying that they're not powerful enough. And honestly, I think that how it is right now, with maybe the exception of deputies and stings, is very fair and balanced. I mean, maybe I can see the argument for deputies only getting the PO7, But then if you think about it, I mean, now you're giving deputies a weapon that can't even go full auto, and you're sending them out on the streets against 7.62, and then everybody complains about career cops, but those career cops are what keeps cops on the servers, because if you don't have, career cops, those career cops are on at the hours that no other cops are on, so it is definitely a plus, because, I mean, people don't like cops because they seize your stuff. And you get your Temps device seized when it's full of magic mushrooms. You're gonna hurt, but it's just it's a fair balanced system, and if you don't have that little competition, then drug runs are really easy when you get on when there's no other rebels on.
Can I comment?
Go ahead.
Nerdy, I think you wanted to comment first. Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, I was gonna say that with cops, if we're talking about how much time we got, I got like 566 hours on cop, like 960, almost 1,000 on Civ. I've seen things change drastically, and I guess I will say that I feel like there's not an issue at the moment, and the only reason why people feel that there's an issue is because the Civs play stupid sometimes, some of them, at federal events, at feds, jails, and blackwaters, because I'm going to go back in my day and say, hey, back in my day, Tree, we used to be able to do 10 or 12-man feds and blackwaters. Deadpool was there. He saw that.
Blackwater.
Well, Blackwater mostly, but the quality of players back then were much better than compared to what they were now, or what they are now. So I don't think that there's an issue with APD as it is. I think it's Civs. We need to encourage them to become better, right? And to not play what I call big dickish, right? Like jumping out and playing like a cop would because they're not losing their loadout. But at the end of the day, that's really, I feel like, the issue.
All right.
Yeah, I don't even.
All right, can I comment now?
I got dibs after homicide.
Homicide,
Alright.
go ahead.
Okay, so right now, to be honest, like people complain, like I have 3,000 plus hours on Civ, okay, and like almost 800, almost 700 on cop, right? Now everyone, homicide's career cop and all this shit. So like when they talk about it, they don't think that, you know what I'm saying, like I'm gonna be a right choice because supposedly I play cop too much. But at the same time, like people complain about cop, but cop is fine just the way it is right now. Like a lot of people started complaining about, Commander Rex added the limbs, but really, I mean, they only be used at certain times and all this and that. And then like everyone complains. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? And then everybody's complaining, but now fucking POs can't could raid houses, blah blah blah, to get people out. I mean, at the same time, is that really hurting people? No, just play better. Like if you get caught by the cops, that's your fault. And like my opinion on cop right now is that cop is like fine the way it is. Like there has to be like no change about it.
Can I say something?
No, I'm talking. So I think like the senior APD, it's a little biased. I think like excluding a couple members of senior APD, it's one big friend group that are all either in VX or like surrounding VX. Like for an example, I'm not like dick riding, but like Pledge.
I'm gonna
That
scoot my chair back for this. Go ahead.
Alright. Pledge has put in the most dedication, most time I've ever seen any. I mean, I don't want to say anyone, but way more than these other sergeants, lieutenants, and like he was a sergeant. He got demoted for some bullshit thing. I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't anything too big. For like it was like 200. He kept count every day. It was like 263 days. The reason why, wave break. Oh, the reason why he wasn't promoted lieutenant again was because it's just one big friend group. And when I was a cop, I would say 75% of the cops would only, or the seniors would only play during like Feds and Blackwaters. The only kids that would play was Pledge and Chris GG that I really noticed. Maybe there's one or two, I'm forgetting names, but they only stack the fuck out of Feds and Blackwaters. I think something should be changed about stacking, and I don't know, try to break up the whole friend group of the senior APD.
I want to go back into the bias.
I would like to.
Rex,
I would
go
like to-
ahead.
I would like to counter. I think the whole idea that the senior APD is a friend group, can be really dumbed down. I mean, I can name off Burden PD, CPD, OSPD, VXPD.
Oh no, I agree. Like it's
no,
always been like
Slash
that,
PD.
in a way.
There's always something. Yeah, there's always something there that people will put up there. That being said, senior APD is a friend group, but not in the way most people think. We become friends as we, get to know each other, as we work with each other, because we're doing a whole lot more than just simply, a job. Like I've gotten to know so many people. In fact, one of my biggest examples that I can bring is the real Kyle, deputy chief
fuck
way
with Real
back when.
Kyle.
When I was a PO corporal deputy, I didn't really know the guy, but all I saw from him was I thought he was honestly a toxic piece of shit, and that's what I thought of him. And then I got into the role of sergeant, and I honestly he was one of the best LTs I've ever seen. He was the most helpful guy ever. He was fucking hilarious as shit, but he was always willing to help, and my mind had completely changed on that, and that wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for senior APD. So friendships are established with the senior APD, and I want to bring back, you mentioned the pledge thing. There are, I mean, there are mitigating factors and other factors that I'm not at liberty to discuss, or I don't want to discuss with all of Olympus as to why it took him so long. But I want to tell you that the reason that it took Pledge so long was definitely not based on his merit. Pledge was one of the hardest working sergeants and is one of the hardest working LTs, and honestly, he's probably one of the best that the senior APD has ever had. There's other factors as to why it took so long for his promotion, and I'm not able to discuss that. That being said, with I'm interested to hear all of your guys' ideas with cop stacking. Cop stacking and everything else, because I'm willing to debate about that here.
Can I say one last thing real quick? So about the whole friendship thing, I mean, everyone becomes friends, cause like Matt, I used to hate you, you used to hate me, right?
Yeah.
We became friends, right?
I heard
So
Matt
like,
still
wouldn't you
hates you.
think? Wouldn't you think when like
Nah,
people
we're
play together, like a certain group, like senior APD, they're seniors for a reason, right? They're seniors because they're put in that place because they've done their time, and not only time, but they show their dedication and leadership, right? Now, I can say totally that I used to think the same way that you used to think, Matt, like straight up, but like I've literally come to learn that seniors are not like that at all whatsoever. They're not biased or anything like that, because I could have been thrown out many times. KB can attest to this, and Rex can attest to this, and I've gotten so many chances within the APD, like, and I'm still here. So like, you know what I mean? Like,
but
Can I say something about that?
Real quick, Peter, can you pull Colton? He's down below us.
Okay, can I say
User
something
was moved
about
to
the
your
APD?
channel.
Go ahead.
I think the senior APD is completely fine. I think the main problem is that I don't feel that the interview's enough, because I've stalled in one day. I stalled a deputy 15 minutes, no matter what I can, to the point where we had to get a corporal on to pardon me, because they need to pardon after the 15 minutes, and I did that twice in one day. And I've just seen deputies just do. I've seen deputies just do crazy stuff. Like it's
That's what you. That's what you do as a deputy, bro.
And the main reason why I would be the best civ rep is because I'm currently blacklisted from APD and R.
Hey, so am I, bro.
So,
Oh my
so
God.
civ rep, you know.
One more thing, and I do think that the expectations to join the APD should be brung up a little as wise as hours on the server. Because I'm sorry, like some of these guys, what they do is literally read the handbook right before their test, and they think they know everything, but then you guys give them the training and they totally forget everything, and they go back and like don't know rules, don't know this, don't know that. So I think maybe the hour expectation should be brung up as wise to how many hours are on the server.
Currently got 28 hours.
I would like to, counter that. I think the hour argument, it's not terrible. I think that honestly, if that is something that I really wanted to look into, a better interview process, something more similar to what the MCSD has going, would be the right direction. That being said, one of the things about the APD that is always, in my opinion, made it somewhat successful
30
is
more
that
seconds on this topic.
all right, is that it has been open to everybody, or to most people, that is. And I think if we really scrutinize the interview process, then we would be hindering our numbers, and that could have adverse effects on the balance in game. And honestly, I'd like to see better cops, but I'd like to try to strive that and.
I mean, but there are already a lot of cops as it is.
Figure that out better ways.
Rex. I mean, there's already a lot of cops as it is. So like, how much less of cops are we gonna see if you just higher the expectations just a bit? I mean, it's not gonna change that much. There's already a shitload of us, dude.
I just got a question.
We
why this worked for so long and it's just now being brought up that it's not working, or maybe I'm mistaken. It's been brought up in the past, but if it's been working this long for this, this many years for how, for cop, why is it just now that you guys are, it's a problem?
Because now we just got all these new. It's like Matt said. There's a bunch of new players that think they know shit, but they don't know shit.
Okay, all right, enough. All right, topic over. Guys, for who are just joining in right now, welcome to a special episode of the Peter Long Podcast. We're doing a Civ Rep debate for Olympus Entertainment. We have 101 people watching right now, guys. So say hi. Don't get nervous.
Wait, can I say something on the cop? Like, I have a really good idea.
Hey, we're done with the cops. We're done with the cops.
It's about feds. Will we bring that up back up later?
Yes, we're bringing topics later on. We're bringing it up. So for those who are just joining in and wondering what the hell is going on, we are hosting a Civ Rep debate. There's an election going on currently in our Altus Life servers for Civ Rep. It's a representative that you guys, the community, vote in to represent your views at staff meetings to push your guys' agenda to try to get the things that you want to see on the server there. We do the best we can as staff to do as much as we possibly can, but it's really nice having a representative there telling us exactly what you guys want to see, and we try to figure out ways that we can do that on our Olympus Altus Life servers. I'm here with Deadpool, a fellow moderator for the channel,
Hello, and
moderator for this debate. He was a former Civ Rep for the last 8 months. He's not in this election. He is also helping me coordinate this event. So, we talked about cartels. We talked about APD. We talked about Digis. We talked about a whole bunch of stuff. I'm going to bring up something that's not on our list here, Deadpool, but that's something you can probably relate to. You guys are all trying and vying for votes here to become the next Civ Rep, one of the two. Your roles, as they are Civ Reps, are to represent the views and the opinions of our community and bring them to the staff, so that way we get an objective and different view of what we think we should put onto the server. With that being said, not all of your ideas are going to be accepted. Deadpool can tell you. I think of the hundreds of things that he brought up in our meetings.
I've got a whole sheet with 400 something ideas I've brought up.
And
only a fourth of them
yeah,
got passed.
Yeah, only a quarter of them actually went through.
They're all trash.
So with that being said, how are you guys and this is a question on the floor, as potential civ reps going to handle the staff telling you no?
I guess I'll go first. Essentially, that's kind of how it goes. An idea is an idea, and opinions are opinions. So everyone's gonna have an opinion on something. Just because it's an idea doesn't mean that it's completely fleshed out. Like I get it, it's an idea. I'm here to represent the civs. If I were to get into that position, however, like I know that not everything I bring up will obviously be going in. So I mean, there might be something I might be more passionate about that I'd say like, hey, this is my hill to die on. But like at the end of the day, I'm just here to bring up the ideas and make an effort as to why they should be there. And if they aren't, they aren't.
Okay, so sorry, just ripped my dad pen. So if like I had a bomb idea that I thought was bomb, right, and like OS just immediately shut down, I would want to hear. Like obviously I've never been in a civ rep meeting. I've never been in Deadpool's position of like when they've shut him down, but I would like to hear their side and like why exactly that won't work. Not just a no, like elaborate. Like for an example, like oh well, I have no clue. I've never been in that position, but that's all I'm saying. Like,
I mean, go ahead, Corey.
So, basically, being denied by staff, I mean, there's nothing you can really do. I mean, staff in the end has the ultimate power. I mean, really, all you are is a hearsay. You're pretty much a messenger. You read what the civs want, and then you tell staff, and then you can relay that back to your civs. I mean, it's not like you have any kind of real power with it besides being the intermediate between the civs and the staff. So when staff tells you no, it's probably because they have a real reason, and so it's not something you should get upset about. It's just something that you should be like, all right, well.
But don't you think they should tell you that reason though?
I mean, he just said that they do tell you the reason.
Because just from like experience, like ban appeals, like getting the automated messages.
You don't have anything to do with civ rep that involves bans.
What? No, I'm giving an example how OS gives automated replies. Like, do they just hit you with the no, or do they give you an actual?
They actually go into detail because you actually have like it's like what we have now with like this whole like stream, but it's actual like more of a people's opinions, and you ask for everybody's opinions. We go on topic, then faction through faction.
I mean, if I was to get shot down by by the staff and them telling me no, I mean, what I would do is go back to the drawing board. I mean, there's nothing you can do. Like, they're the administrators of the server for a reason. They're put in this position for a reason, and it's to approve or disapprove of of everything. Now, what I would do in that position, if I got a big fat no with an explanation, obviously, go back on stream and I would basically host a stream before every civ rep meeting to see what people's ideas are, or try to fix an idea that got shot down. I mean, and come back with a different outlook on the idea. That's pretty much all you can do.
Anybody else?
Nope.
No, that sums it up. You have no power, really. They tell you no, and that's suck it up.
Wait, I mean, it's not that you don't have no power, because it's not about a position of power. It's about having an opinion. We all have opinions, just as staff has an opinion. If staff doesn't agree on your opinion, the best thing you can do is go back and fix it.
Wait, who actually approves the ideas anyway?
The staff is a collective.
All staff.
The staff?
Yeah.
Okay.
The majority, Dilly and Jesse.
So the way it works is you guys come to the meetings, we do roundtables, and the civs have their own roundtable discussion part of the meeting. It depends on whether or not Deadpool is there, how long it takes. It can take up to 20 minutes, or it can take up to 2 hours. So you guys bring up your ideas and the things that you want to change. We debate them with you as a collective from the staff. Contrary to popular belief, all staff don't agree on everything all the time and don't all have the same view on things. So we will argue with each other about it if we think it's a good idea and the best ways to implement it. And it either gets a yes or a no. Some ideas are very quick and easy. Others that are more involved obviously take more time. But that's how staff meetings. I just wanted to know how you guys would deal with the adversity of getting an idea of yours shot down right away. Like Deadpool's idea at the very first staff meeting. Not allowing Viggies to go on to cartels.
That wasn't the first thing. That
was
was like
one
the
of
third
the
or
first
the fourth.
No,
Okay,
I
it
think
was-
as long as staff will give you a good reason why your idea is getting shot down, then yeah, I'll be fine with it.
If you get a good reason why,
But I
then
guess
I
an
would take
automated
it back
message,
to the
I'm
Civs.
making them
It's
read
Yeah,
this.
take it back
back
to the
the
Civs,
Civs,
yeah.
let them
Yeah.
piece it apart, and then sit down with them. That's what I've been doing. It's been working
Yeah,
well.
there you go,
Ship
definitely.
Deadpool
Yeah,
mod already.
Deadpool mod, yeah, definitely. Deadpool
Yeah.
for mod, everybody.
Wait, why didn't you guys let Deadpool run for Civ Rep again?
Because the Google thing messed up.
'Cause he was
The
so
Goo-
bad last
Yeah,
time,
so
dude.
let him in.
Wow,
Who cares?
Lorax. The
Okay,
Google Doc.
Wait,
So-
no, I don't get it. The second I joined, I was like, hey, we got more than half of this entire place to say give it to Deadpool. So
So
why are we not giving it to him?
I don't make those decisions. As it says, or
Biased,
as
yeah.
we stand, we got a couple more topics, and I'm going to open it up for a little more spicy part of it. For
Ooh.
those who are telling me in chat right now, Bucky, or why isn't Bucky in the channel? Bucky's in TeamSpeak. He's just muted in AFK. We don't have
Yeah,
all of the people who are running for Civ Rep here. Some
His
guys
friends
couldn't
coming home
make
from the
it.
military.
Yeah,
Yeah,
some
that's
guys
why
couldn't
he's
make
not here.
it due to real life stuff.
Yeah,
That's fine. We just wanted to give people an opportunity to be heard.
Just to let you know, I'm loyal and canceled my happy hour.
Well, you're having your happy hour here.
I am
All right.
actually having a beer right now, too.
So, with that being said, we're gonna do one more big question. Deadpool, I think we're gonna do this. And then
I was
then
called.
we're gonna do some targeted questions for specific people, and then we're gonna open this up to chat. Where if you guys who are in chat, I can see that there's still about 100 of you in here. If you want to ask a question to the panel or to a direct person, obviously keep in mind Twitch terms of service and Olympus Entertainment terms of service. So make it PC. But if you come into TeamSpeak, get in the Civ Rep waiting lounge. I don't know why that was so hard to say. And go ahead and just hold up in there. We're gonna pull some of you guys to ask some questions. Some of the other members who are here. So Deadpool, go ahead and ask the next question.
All right, the one you highlighted.
Yeah.
All right. Does the market for illegal and legal runs need to be changed? If so, what would you recommend?
Oof. No, it doesn't need to be changed. It's actually perfectly fine the way it is. Like,
I gotta.
I don't see why it needs to be higher or lower. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, really.
Matt?
What was the question for?
Well, hang on, Matt. Lorax, the question was, does anything need to be changed about legal or illegal markets? If so, what do you recommend to change? Matt?
Or the economy at large.
Yeah.
I have a run that I'd like to add in. Is that yeah, fuck it. I don't know if you guys ever played Asylum, but they have like a drug runners thing where you like fly planes from like airspace, like airfield to airfield, and it's like running drugs pretty much. And it not only is it fun, it's like it's not hard, but you don't. It's like you don't really. I mean, if you crash, you lose money, but
Man, I just want to point this out. So what
What?
you're saying is you want to give Viper an armed plane, allow him
It's
to
not
do runs
armed.
in the sky.
It's not armed. It's an unmanned plane.
And
Yikes.
if you even go off path for like 15 seconds or not, probably like 30 seconds, you won't make it to your thing. That's why it's like oh shit, am I gonna make it? It's like it's fun and it's an enjoyable run to do. Like I haven't done a run in probably a year and a half. I don't know, a long fucking time. All I do is play cop because runs suck. You have some bot kid sitting there with a Katiba just camping Moonshine Pro, and right when you hop in your truck, you get sprayed by 10 Cavalos. Like it sucks. Like that's why a lot of the cartel fighters don't do runs because half the time it's just a waste of time. That's why they want Everest to be cheaper or ways to get loadouts without actually having money and like shit like that. And I think if you did like the plane runners thing, it's a lot different than a regular run. You can't really just camp the processor or wait till they get in the truck and shoot them in the head. You know what I mean?
Can I say one? Go ahead, Corey.
I just want to point out that I did a full moonshine run with a Tempest device and no gear the other day and didn't get shot once.
Okay,
I think runs are perfectly.
You act like that goes like that every time. What's the percentage?
really doesn't.
I think runs are perfectly fine. I mean,
Unless you did them at 5
earlier,
a.m.
with the whole,
talk.
as I said earlier with the whole cartel and rebel thing, if you don't expect people, to rob you or attempt
You don't
to
fight
on
cartels
runs,
though, so you don't
and
really
if
know
you
anything about that.
also can't shoot, then that's your problem that you die and lose your run. If you can just maybe shoot them, then you won't lose anything and expect people to be there. I mean, I'm not the kind of guy to just You know, if I'm on my device, I'm not going to just hop out of it. I'm going to look around, make sure there's nobody there, and I'm not going to just, run right into a fucking processor building and be like, oh, well, look at this, guys. I'm just going to assume it's clear. I'm going to assume that there's people there, and I'm going to be ready to fight. I'm not going to
Okay.
be.
Matt's whole point is for those that aren't showing themselves and they're sitting like.
Yeah, but
meters
listen,
out.
you did.
Yeah,
you
but I
did.
mean,
Wait,
that's
let me
part of
speak.
the
Let me speak.
game.
Let me speak. You did
Yeah, I
one
agree with
successful run, and you're basing it off of that.
No,
I've
I
done
do
probably over
runs a lot.
25 successful runs, but I've definitely had more unsuccessful. Well, probably not actually. I
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
Matt, that's part of the game, bro. Getting camped and getting shot is part of the game. Now, one thing I would say that I would change in the market is legalize marijuana. What the fuck are we waiting for?
No.
What do you mean, no? We have
Honestly,
all these
yeah.
other okay, listen,
I
we
can
have
fuck
all
with
these
that.
other drugs that already have double processes.
No,
so
I got a
what-
better
what
idea.
is-
Dan, homicide.
What is
let me
legalizing
just
marijuana gonna
let me
do
tell you
to
this.
I got a
affect the
better
market?
idea.
For
Homicide.
Double
Dan,
process
let me
weed to
just
make
put
wax.
this out there for the homicide thing. For people coming new to the server, the majority of them spawn Kovala. It's the first option there. The first illegal they'll go to is marijuana.
I got a better
Peter.
idea. I got a better idea. How about you make medical marijuana and marijuana? Medical
Yeah,
marijuana is
so?
legal but sells for less, and marijuana is more
and you can
illegal
sell
and
it
sells
at the
for more.
market in the cities. Hello?
Or double process to
Uh,
make wax, man.
Bro, I'm hitting a dab pen right now. I fuck with that idea.
Why don't we
I'm
just
I'm
lower
just
the
saying,
price
like,
on trucks?
I'm just saying because weed in
No,
real life is
nah.
like legal everywhere almost. So why
Not
can't
in
it be
Florida.
legal in Altus? That's all I'm saying. I love
Well, in
weed.
real life, you
like-
can't shove an EpiPen in somebody's heart who's been shot with 7.62 rounds and bring them back to life. So
Yeah,
we
but
like
we're talking
realism,
about
but maybe
market-wise.
In
we have
real
to
life,
suspend
Peter,
it for a
we
little
have
bit.
God.
You know,
I'm talking about
Oh,
market-wise.
okay. All right,
I don't
so
think it will hurt the market if we made it legal.
all right,
No, but
move
I'm
on.
not saying that runs suck. I'm just saying like the run, like the plane run, I think would be a dope feature. to
Yeah, that
Olympus.
sounds cool. I like
Yeah,
that.
that
I think
sounds
double
cool.
process
I'm not
for
saying that
wax would
all
be
runs suck.
dope.
It's hard to make money. They don't completely suck, but it is challenging to do like multiple successful runs. I'm just saying this plane idea is pretty
Yeah, I like the
a good
plan
run.
idea. It's pretty lit.
All right, so with this being said, we're gonna pause it there. It's time for some targeted questions that have been brought up. We're gonna ask now. These targeted questions, they're not meant to, to at you, but these are questions that people want answers to. So for the person who is answering the question, please give them the floor and the appropriate time to answer this. If anybody wants to pipe up afterwards, you can feel free. But we're gonna roll through these. We have some suggestions from the chat. And then we're going to finish this up by pulling people in here to get their questions. Again, guys, for the people who want to be pulled, enter the channel below ours in TeamSpeak. Remember, we are being live streamed on Twitch. And remember, you're also in Olympus Entertainment TeamSpeak. So suffer the consequences if anything goes up. All right. Everybody ready?
Yep.
Yeah. Born and raised.
All right. This question is directed for Matt.
I knew it, bro.
Matt, you've been piping up quite a bit about people not doing things, necessarily the way you do them here on the community, telling people that they might not be doing, or they don't fight cartels, you don't know, you only do one run. However, some stats were pulled, and it's shown that you've joined the servers only a total of 25 times over the entire summer. Why do you think that you are still right to represent the civilian faction of Olympus Entertainment?
Why do you think I haven't joined? Why do you think I've only joined 25 times? Why do you think every other player like me that just plays the game to fight cartels, have fun, has only joined 10, 15 times over the summer? Because gang life is fucking dead. Olympus needs to change that. All these kids in the chat, I'm not all of them, but a lot of them. Well, first of all, I have, I don't know, like 2.5k hours in Arma, probably 1,500 on the server, 1,700, something like that. Nothing drastically has really changed, and Olympus has always been Olympus. Nothing drastically has really changed since before summer, since I really haven't played as much. Just a little things here about, like, that new run, the offshore shit, I don't even know what the fuck that thing's called. But, like...
Savage?
Yeah.
Or Salvage?
Salvage, yeah. Like, I don't know, I wouldn't say me playing 25. Honestly, I thought it was less than that.
That's not a bad number. I want to point that out for people who are in chat.
Yeah, also,
that's not a bad number, but comparatively to some of the guys who are in this channel, that's rather low.
For school, I'm working my AA degree, then I'm going to transfer to Florida State. It's like a 2-year thing, but I'm trying to speed that up. So I took classes in the summer to speed that process up. So most kids in this channel were probably just no-lifing the fuck out of Arma. I was in classes and still trying to balance Arma. I mean, that wasn't a priority of mine, but like, you know what I mean? Still playing often.
This question is directed at a couple guys who aren't here, but for those who this is directed at, you guys know who I'm talking about. According to a group of voters as well as some statistics, there are certain members who are running for CivRep that are considered to be career cops or leaning towards playing APD much more than Civ. Why do you guys feel like you're right for the position of civilian representative?
A lot of people said that about me.
Cause I'm blacklisted.
I mean, put it like this.
Yeah, me too.
I'll keep it simple. A lot of people call me a career cop because lately I've been playing a lot of cop. Yes, but my hours on Civ are 3K plus. All right, more than most people that are in this channel that are running for CivRep. That's all I have to say. So I'm pretty sure that just because I've been playing cop recently doesn't mean that I know or feel what's right for the Civs, because I have 3K plus hours on Civ. And I've been on this server less time than most people that have that amount, that I have more hours in. So.
Homicide, I'm glad you piped up. There's another directed question toward. Now, a few of the guys who have already had this, achieved this status as a member of Olympus are no longer in the running. But as far as I know, right now, you are the only person running for CivRep that has actually been permanently banned from our servers.
Wow, you can't trust him.
I exposed the fuck
you were permed
right.
for duping. Why do you feel that A, you deserve the role over other people who have not been banned, and B, what did you learn from it?
All right, first of all, yeah, I was banned for duping. It's been over maybe, how long, Peter? Maybe 2 years, right? It's been a long time.
2 years what, banned?
I was banned for 7.5 months, okay? I was banned for 7.5 months for duping. I obviously learned my lesson, and they thought I learned my lesson because they gave me another chance on the server like most people. Now, I'm sorry that those people who've been perm, maybe they don't feel like running for something, but I've been in this community long enough and have enough hours on Civ to be able to be trusted now, because I have hardly even been banned since being perm banned. All right, I've probably been banned maybe once or twice. That's stuck. All right, since I've been perm, and ever since I've been back, I've actually earned a lot of respect and a lot of trust from most people in the community that I didn't have before, because I was known as a toxic fuck.
What do you
And now I have a lot of friends within this community, and I've actually grown to love this community more than what I did when I first got perm banned and was trying to get unperm like every freaking month. So just because I've been perm doesn't mean that I can't be trusted, and it doesn't mean that I don't deserve a higher position within our community. Just the hours alone on Civ and just the trust that I've gained for people and the popularity that I've gained since coming back.
What did you do?
I used 100 mil in meth.
Dude, to be
Not
honest,
as bad as Kevin Mofafa.
I sold 15 mil in meth.
Dude, my boy, you earned my vote.
Wow, you didn't vote for me? Fuck you. Okay,
Alright.
what was the question? I kind of forgot.
Could I answer the question on the
Wait, can you
career cop
repeat the
thing?
question? I feel like I wanted to
Yes.
answer, but I just forgot.
Nerdy,
what
go
it was.
ahead and answer the career cop question, because
So-
that's directed
I'm
at
dumb,
you as
huh?
Hi,
well.
I'm looking at all you guys in the Twitch chat right now. Hi, that's me. So,
Cringe.
I see your guys' comments.
If I had a
So
Yeah,
you're
me
all
too.
saying, "Oh
Bruce
yeah,
Wayne
you're a
hates.
career cop, dude." I mean, it's not like Deadpool was a sergeant and he was also a civ rep, and it's not also like the fact that Moob was also like chief of police and like deputy chief of police, you know, and then he became a civ rep as well. So like, I don't know what the issue is, right? I explained in Twitch chat that I literally started playing cop more because my gang was not doing anything at the moment, right? Ibzekro, I don't suck at Madden, but essentially, I started playing
I want
more cop
30K.
because that's where there was action at, and that's where I could make some friends to come back into the community with. I'm coming back on playing more Civ more often. If I wanted to play Civ more often, it's any time now because I want to make Civ great again. It like has honestly been frustrating to play in the last 6 months because cartel fights are non-existent because you just get roached in the back by someone shooting at you with because he's sitting there with a fucking DMS because he's literally bad at the game because he stole it off of, you know, some guy at a Blackwater. Besides that, you also have to look at the fact that we also used to do a lot of feds and Blackwater's entry. We haven't had the numbers for that after the whole, you know, issues with final and that type of stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if you're gonna really criticize me for being a career cop, think back to all the other civ reps that were also career cops in your opinion.
And again, the same. It's just like
Yeah, not as
no. It's just like what Nerdy said. The reason that I started playing cop more was for that same reason. That DB, when I was in DB, was inactive as shit. I was the only member on 24/7 on Civ. All right, and lately for the past maybe month and a half, since I got delayed off Corp, I've been playing more Civ because of that simple fact that I love playing both factions, man. Civ and cops.
I only play cop for the money, honestly.
I have a targeted
do it for the
question
RP.
as well for a few other people. This one's for Colt, who hasn't said anything since he's been in here. Hi, Colt.
Hello.
This question
Alright, Colt.
is: if you get the position of Civ Rep, what are you going to do to stop people from camping garages?
Camping garages, huh? Well, it depends on what garage you mean. Like, because it could be a garage in the town, someone's gang garage, someone's garage at a
I'd like to
rebel.
speak next.
What exactly are you pointing at here?
I don't know.
it's
That was
different
literally
situations.
the question.
Can I answer?
I
Because
think
camping
they're
garages in towns are a big problem, especially when it's like a Vigi and they obviously know that people are fighting cartels and they're just catching people on the rebound. Basically, like they have no gear, they have nothing to defend themselves, and they're just trying to go re-gear up. And the Vigi just all it takes is 5 seconds, and you're gone, and you're in jail for an hour, more than likely.
Okay.
If that's our topic.
Take down the jail time.
No, let me speak. Can't you like when spawning in the garage, you could see how many people are in the vicinity of it?
Yeah, just don't spawn at it.
Doesn't that just solve your problem, right?
Yeah,
there?
like that's a stupid question.
You said
for
your
Colt.
gang, hey, who's in this DP25, whatever. Be like, oh, no one? Oh, there's someone in my area. I'm gonna wait 10 minutes to spawn there.
Yeah, Cole, you should have not said anything.
Or
That was
maybe
like
a
the dumbest
solution.
question ever they asked you, dude.
I got a
honestly.
better. I don't know the radius of how close someone has
It's
to be.
300 meters.
It should be then lower to like 75, because then you know they're really
They're
far
right
away.
on you.
Nope.
It's like you look away, you're in a way to kill somebody, go pick the Y up. Next thing you know, oh, my car's gone.
Okay.
Most of the time, you see like just one number on the
What?
thing. Like,
Here's a
you
question.
don't
This
really
one's
think-
oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
When
I think that question was more of a meme, Colt.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah,
I
so
know-
do I.
I know what it's for.
Okay. I'm realizing that now as I'm sitting
that
here.
was to stop someone from going and camping cartels as a fresh spawn half the time, and I got pissed off, so I blocked off their garage.
Okay, I apologize for that
I blew
question.
that bitch up.
I did not realize that was a targeted question in terms of a situation that you did. And to the person who told me to ask that question,
What a bot.
you owe me $1.
That
Now,
guy's a bot. Whoever asked that question.
with that being said, we're gonna move on. Lorax, this question is directed towards you. Are you here, my friend?
Alright.
How would you advise making the Olympus experience more immersive?
Well, man, if you read my campaign slogan, you know I'm here to make Olympus into a hardcore roleplay server. You know.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the next. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
And I think
Wait,
making it a
I'd like to comment
first-person
on that.
only no crosser server would bring in a lot of the Milsim people and increase
Oh,
fights.
So
No.
you want?
like the
Hang on.
process-
Let me just clarify this
comment
for
on that.
everybody who's watching, because we still have 100 people watching. You want to change Olympus to a hardcore roleplay server without crosshairs to bring in the Milsim guys, so the
Dude,
Milsim
PSG
guys
is
can
fan
roleplay.
Olympus then, dude.
Can I comment on that actually?
Go ahead.
I think like, no one fucking plays Malden, right? Like fuck Malden. I think you should have open another branch of Olympus and like the ALRP scene, because honestly, that community is looking for a good, strong server to play. Like every 2-3 months, or not, probably a month to two, like shut down because either the owner's a fucking pedophile, they sold it. Like that should
All
actually
right,
happen.
time out. We're not here to bash other communities. Yes,
No,
I
my
understand
bad,
these
my
are
bad, my
facts,
bad.
but we're not here to bash other communities.
No, that was an example. That's my bad. But I'm saying that there's a big market for that Olympus can attend to, and they're not, and they have some server that gets like 15 people in at max every day called Malden.
Yeah,
I've
I mean,
yet to
there's
join
also
that server.
There's also other games that Olympus could expand to, but that's not what we're talking about.
I would
here
stick with
either.
Arma because Olympus is so strong in the Arma community that I think if they, because all the ALRP nerds, they all know about Olympus. They're like, oh, it's just there's too much RDM. Like if you had it towards their like kind of server, which is like an ALRP server, I feel like it'd bring in so many more members.
Yeah, but
there's-
RDM comes with the territory. It comes with any server, dude.
Yeah,
That's why
but
you report.
you go
You
to
know, I
Cavallo,
kinda-
you can't stand in Cavallo for 10 minutes without getting RDM'd.
I have a really unpopular opinion for this server, but we should start gearing towards a more privatized server to where you should start applying to get in, because that
Nah,
would
that's
keep
dumb.
the majority of
Oh,
the.
that's
I mean,
fucking-
can I
No.
explain for a sec?
So
If you
I
can
wanna-
keep the RDMers out by making them apply, I mean, you know, they're not gonna go through the step. Most of these RDMers, let's be honest, are coming over from Asylum. You know, they're looking for a quick, let me go get a rook and, you know, kill the members of this and then head back to my home server where I'm not going to get banned for this. You know, and that's what
That's
makes,
on
like,
every server.
So
alright,
I can
man.
tell you that
Can't stop that.
that introducing barriers of entry is not an intelligent decision when you want to keep a server going.
Yeah, that'll kill the
especially
community.
like I understand, like if Arma was a brand new game, then yeah, I mean that's fine because a lot of servers did that and they were successful for a while. But Arma 3 right now, as it stands, is a 4-year-old game, and there's quite a bit of competition out there for games. And you know, every year there's less and less people that play. Now, it's not. I'm not saying Arma 3 is dead, because it's clearly not. I mean, we're still here after 4 years talking about Civ Rep debates, and Olympus Entertainment is still going strong.
My life.
But adding barriers of entry on your servers would be the quickest way for Olympus Entertainment to die.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
agree.
but we
Wait,
all know that eventually Arma 3 is gonna die.
Yeah.
Nothing lives forever, okay?
And that's why I've been stating that we should be expanding into other games that are
What
popular.
about Minecraft then? How long is
Like,
that?
for example, GTA RP, something that's new and it's growing.
GTA's been out for like 5 years.
Yes,
dude.
no, but GTA RP 5M is still growing and it's gonna keep growing. That's
But,
something new, something fresh.
Well, Peter, what do you think about my idea, like opening up an ALRP server?
A modded server is what you mean to say?
Yeah, same thing.
I don't pay the bills, so I can't tell you whether or not we're going to open up another server.
Are those expensive?
If you get Civ Rep, you
But
can
the
bring it
thing-
up at the staff meeting
But
with
Peter-
Dylan and Jesse.
I can
Wait.
leave my opinion on it.
Let me speak
not
first.
from
The thing about those servers is they let you be pay to win as fuck. Like to start a gang on ALRP, you had to pay like $50 because it was like a
No one's
whitelist
gonna play
gang.
that then.
Yeah, and
No,
who in
those
2018 is
they
going to
would have-
pay
No,
$50
listen.
to create a game?
Listen. You can make it $5. Who cares? Those servers, they had 3 or 4 servers that would max out every Saturday and
And they're
Friday
dead
and
now.
Saturday night.
Yeah, they're dead.
And where are
That's
they
'cause
now?
no, that's because the
Can
guy
I
sold it, and then the guy I sold to was a pedophile, and then his shit got
What's wrong
ended.
with
Wait,
that?
what?
He was
We're-
hitting on
again,
kids.
we're not here. We're not
It
here
was
to
a
bring up
VH
dirt.
situation. But
So-
now it's inside Sin's
Can I
hands,
say-
and on Friday and Saturday nights, you literally cannot get into his server because you can't spam it because it's like a whitelist slot is.
The only
available
reason
still.
people play on his servers is because he's fucking
No, it's all kids from ALRP that didn't give a fuck about him. He did do a good job in advertising it and getting like the word out there that it's a thing. And now there's a big community around it, probably because of him. And I think Olympus should take advantage of that and break into that community.
All
You know-
right, we're moving on. Here, this question's for Nerdy. What will you do to make more of an incentive to fight cartels?
So I talked about this on my live stream, and what, talking to some people in there, what we'd come up with was essentially a system, and I'll credit Jimmy from TI for this idea. We talked about doing like a Blackwater gear. Whoever has like the cartel the longest for the entire duration of a single month would be awarded like one piece of Blackwater gear, like whether that be a vehicle, a DMS, something like
Of their
that.
choice or at random?
That's still yet to be decided on, but essentially that would incentivize people to actually go cap, right? To actually sit on the caps, that type of thing. Someone mentioned about like money, and I said money's not really. I feel like money's not a great reason to go cap it, because if we look into doing the the dirty money or the money laundering stuff, it doesn't really work well for that. But yeah, I would think like some form of a reward system like that with like Blackwater gear.
I don't think money laundering needed, but at least like to
You can
fight
do
for that money and then go deposit into your own gangbang. You don't have to
Yeah.
clean it. That's what I would think.
For holding cartels, you could do a passive money where it does spawn in over time, like a small amount, but it's still worth going out and getting the cartel to get that money in the gang for people who are just starting out on the server.
Yeah,
because
because you don't have to clean it. You can we don't have to put that we have to clean it. We can just put that we go deposit it into our gangbang
every 5 minutes.
And that whole thing, that's a good idea, nerdy. But I think like Deadpool wrote in the TS chat, it should be a weekly thing. I think whoever holds a cartel for the whole week should get something, a Blackwater spawned item in their gang shed or something. That'd be pretty lit.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's something we brainstormed today. So
yeah, that's lit. I like that.
I have a.
I actually personally I love that idea that the longer you hold it, the more stuff you get.
Yeah, that shit is
I've
lit.
got some stuff to add on to that after this.
You know what that is,
thing.
bro? You just go check your gang chat. Oh shit, I got a DMS. What the fuck? Like that shit's hype, bro.
Yeah.
Go check your gang garage. You got an infrared. You know what the fuck?
That shit would be heated so fast.
I feel like a week would be too long for that, but like a 24-hour period of holding, you know.
Oh
all the
yeah,
cartels,
true that. Yeah.
I feel like that'd be
Yeah,
pretty cool.
if you hold it for 24 hours, yeah.
I have an idea.
Go ahead.
This isn't even just like cartels. This is just gang life in general, right? Like the shit ones that do runs, hang out, vault, like just in general to bring all the gangs together. It's not like just a cartel thing.
So Prime 2.0.
Shut the fuck up. You guys know what like Friday Night Fortnite is? That they had like the Fortnite tournaments.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
So like not on Fortnite, but in Arma, like it could be Friday night, Saturday night. You shut down server 3, host some kind of game where all the gangs could be included. Where it could be not even like a gang wars, like a race, flight competition, like capture the flag.
Yeah.
Protect
what
the
about
president.
the VIP one, Matt? Remember,
Yeah,
I
like
don't know if
server
you ever did
hosted
one of
shit.
those.
That's lit.
So what
I'm
you're
not-
asking for is a scheduled and recurring server event,
But
either
make
Fridays or
it,
Saturdays.
make it the winners win something, so people want to come and earn something, not just it was fun, guys. Have a pat on the back, get TP, and don't have it where it's like you're on a server and they just TP everyone. Like have a scheduled thing with
Like a
organizer.
server-wide event.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and like hype it up during the week and be like, oh, first place gets 10 mil, or it depends what the event is. But you could also have like teams, so it's not even like gangs. You'd have like a teams of 3 and like friend groups, like how Friday Night Fortnite is, how like the clans would split up within the tournament. Sometimes they'd fight each other and shit like that.
I'm gonna talk about that for you. I'm not supposed to interject like into this debate because I wanted you guys to speak for yourselves. But when it comes to that, I'm glad I have your permission, Matt. You have my permission to continue being in this team.
Thank you.
So as that sits, I have been holding off on the Olympus League thing I had talked about a few months ago until Malden was out.
What did you call it? Olympus what?
The Olympus League, where members of the community will
that
compete.
sounds dope.
Yeah, it's not only going to be armor related; it's other games.
And it go other games, yeah. That'd be
but now that Malden is out and the devs are, done building that initially, and they have a little more free time, I'm gonna be ramping that back up. So I wanted to wait on that until Malden was out because I didn't want to distract any of the devs. But that will be a thing.
Yeah, can we get
Two
HQ
minds
takeover? Yeah, can we get that again? Like
that,
how?
Yes,
that is
that
a
was
great
what I
topic.
got
Hang on, time out. That is a
Please talk
topic.
about that.
You can bring that up if you are elected to civ rep, but it is coming.
It's
Okay.
already coming.
Alright,
it's
so-
already.
Oh,
Remember
it is?
last time you did an HQ
Good.
takeover?
We tried doing it in TI the other day. All got tased.
What's that? You remember the last time you did an HQ takeover with me, Mita, and I can't remember who the other person was.
I'm just gonna take
You got
like
your
30
house
seconds.
raided?
I'm
You
gonna
got your
take
house
30
raided?
seconds real quick to explain the new HQ taker system.
No.
2 seconds.
Because
do
they're
not.
dead. Dilly's changing them even more.
Do
Yeah,
not
bitch.
explain
Changing it
that.
more?
And can I just
Be quiet,
say?
bitch.
Yeah.
Can I
Be
say
quiet,
for
bitch.
everybody who's watching right now, good luck, Kyle Lake. Thank you very much.
Good luck, Kyle Lake.
Okay,
Good luck,
we're gonna
Kyle.
Why do I not know who Kyle Lake is?
we're gonna talk about.
Wait, how do you what?
It's R&R.
Bro, I don't play anymore. R&R is irrelevant to me.
We're gonna talk about war points, and then we're gonna start pulling people.
Ooh, war points, nice.
Okay, war points. What do you guys like them? Hate them? Love them? What changes do you want to make?
Love 'em.
I love the idea of war points. I think maybe we should like include maybe a few other things into the war points, but
Warpoint
Other than
vehicle
that-
shop.
yeah, Warpoint vehicle shop definitely, and I feel like maybe bring the Spar 16S in there somewhere. How and it's
I want another
Wait,
arm
what?
plane. I want another arm plane of some
laser.
sort.
No.
No, I think
No arm planes.
and I feel
Like
that
an
the
arm pellet.
RPG I feel like the RPG should be in a regular Rebel shop.
yeah,
honestly,
so do I.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
like
But-
because like Titan launchers lock on in the air vehicle. I want something where I could shoot a fucking Quillen. You know what I mean? Like take his fucking tires out
RPG.
and fuck that. Yeah.
I want a vehicle shop with war points. Warpoint vehicle shop.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that
we
should be
need
added
that. Yeah,
with like
definitely.
it like let's say 100 war points can get you a Ghost Hawk with guns. So like I think that.
Yeah,
would
I
be
don't know
lit.
about that.
I don't know about 100.
Maybe 100,
but
maybe 50
maybe
for like a
1,000
Ifrit.
or something.
No
but-
Ghost Hawks.
Yeah, no Ghost Hawks. Yeah, I
No,
don't agree with that.
you know what I meant.
I say
like
Ifrits.
an Ifrit.
Like an Ifrit or,
Yeah.
like an HMG or some shit. Yeah.
Yeah, something lit. Not.
Yeah, I like the RPG idea and the Ifrit idea for
Yeah,
war
yeah,
points.
No.
No, I think
want
you should be able to
RPG
buy
in
that
regular
shit,
Rebel
bro.
shop. Yeah.
Actually,
we should
no.
be able to buy
Oh.
regular RPGs. at
No,
Rebel.
honestly, that will kill Ifrits though. That would ruin the whole Ifrit
I mean,
fighting.
it won't ruin shit. Just bring another spiciness, bro.
If you can buy an RPG from the regular Rebel shop,
I
then
mean,
you can
I
just
would
buy
assume they
Ifrits with war
wouldn't be
points
that
and be fine.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
made
like,
I made
like
a poll
that's-
about this, asking people
Say
if they want
shout
to
out to
come in.
Conor
It was
McGregor,
a
has a
mixed
huge
like
cock.
decision.
No, I want RPGs at Rebel. Like, that's one thing that if I get Civrip, I'm gonna work on definitely.
You can already
Like,
buy the rocket heads in Warpoint
no,
shop for 10
no, but-
war points.
No, I want it at the Rebel shop. Like, we got it in a Titan launcher. Why can't we have the RPG in a
What would be your ideal
Hey,
price?
hang on, time out, Matt. Whatever the hell you're doing in your.
Sorry, I dropped my dad pin on the gun and rolled away.
Like, let's say I'm chasing a fucking truck, right? And I can't get a good shot at. Well, I want to fucking go in my Quillen's gunner and fucking shoot a rocket at the bitch. It ain't gonna blow up. Shoot it at the ground.
Pipe that bitch in his ass.
Blow the fucking tires.
Real quick,
takes that
Homicide.
down quick.
What would be your ideal price if it were to the rocket head and the launcher to be added to normal shop?
I think
What would be
as
price
much
range?
as a Titan. Those
Yeah,
things would
yeah,
just
as much
rape
as a
you.
Titan, yeah.
I would say a Titan because a Titan's lock on and it's almost guaranteed if they don't flare. RPG is solely based on if you can aim.
Yeah, but Helen
Yeah,
Keller
I mean,
could kill
I-
it
I
with
would-
RPG,
Oh,
dog.
wait, what are Titans at again? At 4?
Titans are 150 per rocket and it's
Yep.
like 200k.
400k.
400k.
That's 400k for the two.
It's 400k for the launcher. I would make it 250k for the RPG.
You like the
it doesn't
launcher
lock.
or the rocket?
No, for the launcher.
I think
the rockets 100.
I think the
I would say
RPG should
50K.
cost more than the Titan.
50k per rocket.
No, that's stupid.
No, that's too low.
Are you fucking
Then
off the
everybody will go and
Nah,
fucking
man.
fill their house up with RPGs.
Bro, you need to play Olympus
Bro,
some more.
like listen, you get that many RPGs.
Bro,
Again, wait,
how
I'm
many
gonna ask
hours
this. I'm
do
gonna
you
ask
have
this
in
again.
Olympus,
Like, I'm
bro?
gonna ask this.
I have
Who are you?
800 and some odd hours.
50
Oh,
is the same
no.
price per grenade, dude. Like what?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
what the
like,
fuck?
crazy. 100.
Yeah, like if you're gonna have that
But
many
listen,
50k.
762 should be 25k.
Like
If
100k for a
you
rocket.
get
is
50k per rocket, can you
Wait,
imagine
wait,
the
wait,
fun
wait.
you
50K
could have?
per
Bro, I will
rocket?
buy a Bergen and have like 10 rockets, dog. Like if that
Alright.
was the case.
If
I
you
know.
put 50k per rocket, you're just gonna have Monkey come back and only use RPG on a window.
Bro,
Okay, okay,
Shout
okay.
out to Monkey one time.
That would be absolutely.
We're gonna rein this
Shout-
in.
shout out
We're
to
gonna
one
rein
that
this
is
in.
my
Rein it in. Rein it in. All right, we're gonna start pulling people to ask targeted
Can
questions.
you put a logger in?
No. Well, I mean, if he's in the channel.
Yeah,
But
he's in there. He's in there.
we're not gonna pull everybody. So if you don't get pulled, I don't want to hear that you're crying. We've already been going for an hour and a half. If you guys are willing to keep going, I'd say we'll keep going.
Yeah, let's.
But we're gonna just start doing some targeted questions. So if you
My
want to
wife's
ask,
already- my wife's already mad at me. So
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll make her feel better
Cyanide
later.
in
Don't
the
worry
house.
about it.
Um,
Okay,
you want
so-
one out of Andrew or logger?
Oh, and Peter,
Stop
quick
talking.
question.
Stop talking. Stop talking. For the chat, if you want to be pulled, enter this channel in TeamSpeak, Civ Rep Waiting Lounge.
Nah, you should pull the loyal ones first.
I will pull
those
you
guys.
guys. You can ask your question. You will stay for the answer, and then I will move you out. Okay. But guys, we need to stay on target here because we're going off on tangents. So we're gonna pull Goat first because he sent me a message before this thing even started, and then we're gonna move on.
Buddy was moved to your channel.
Peter, check your DMs real quick
Okay, hang on.
on TeamSpeak.
Slide in the DMs.
After
It goes
Goat,
down in the DMs. It goes
Three.
down.
after Goat, can we pull the twins?
Oh.
No,
No,
one out
it
Andrew
was
or
cyanide.
logger, bro. One out Andrew or logger.
And Goat's not here.
All right, one out Andrew. Perfect.
Buddy was moved out of
Are
your
we gonna
channel.
get Gibbs in here?
Buddy was
Yeah,
moved to
Gibbs
go
your
ahead.
start with
channel.
the twins.
Gibbs,
Yeah, I'm here.
you got a question?
All right. This question, so it's targeted, right?
Yeah, you can ask it to an individual or to the group.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and ask it to the group. So, as a Civ rep, what are your plans for increasing the female population on Olympus?
Fuck them other rats.
Ask Decimus. Ask
a mixer
Decimus.
night,
Wait, I know
dog.
the answer to that question.
Wait, can I tell a funny
Speed
story?
dating, Olympus speed dating. Let's get it.
Little by little, everyone just turns trans.
No, that's how more people use voice changers for the
Right?
speed dating.
Fuck.
Okay, we're gonna move you out. Thanks, Gibbs. Appreciate it.
Buddy was moved out of your
Pull
channel.
real Kyle. He's an OG.
Cyanide.
Real
Oh,
Kyle
real
just
Kyle's
moved.
in here?
Well,
Yeah,
Kyle.
pull real Kyle.
Hang on,
Pull
we're
Kyle.
getting Genghis.
User was moved to your
Oh
channel.
my, I'm worried about this.
All right,
question.
Genghis,
He
go
can
ahead,
fit
buddy.
in
You got
here?
the floor.
Wow, okay.
I'm just kidding.
This motherfucker.
Bro, you gave my neck the other day. Come on now.
Okay, listen, no one cares about your fucking dabs, but the vigilantes, people say that.
I'm gonna hit
people
that
say
right now. Where'd it go?
People say that vigilantes are not. There's nothing wrong with vigilantes. There is something wrong. Did you know how many times I've been in Kavala and I get fucking robbed just to have the Vigi get a fucking like 500k loadout if I have a Titan and then go pay a bounty for $30,000?
Yeah,
Okay, let me bring it up. Hang on, time out. First of all, Genghis, I think you just got me banned on Twitch. Second of all,
What did you say?
his avatar. So I did not realize that was your avatar. Guys, if you're going to be pulled, make sure your avatars are clean, because one of the admins please delete it so when I click on them the stream doesn't see it.
Wait, is mine okay? Is my avatar okay?
So, and by the way, the two
What's
people
your
who just
avatar?
clicked it or who just clipped it, I'll be deleting those. So, with that being
Hi,
said,
Twitch staff.
Genghis, G's will no longer be allowed to pay off their bounties at the courthouse.
Okay, cool.
But wait, you could do that
Oh,
now?
Well, I
There we
figure-
go.
okay, I figure.
If they have a robbing charge on them, so you
Okay,
can't
yeah,
rob
that's
people.
That's good.
I was
and
gonna
then
say
go
that,
pay it
yeah,
off.
I agree with that. That's
One
perfect.
thing I will say is that I thought of was that maybe Vigi shouldn't be allowed to Vigi if they have a robbery charge, because in my personal opinion, that's going against what the vigilante's there to do. If the Vigi's there to
I like
tase and
that.
restrain people and then steal their gear, they should just be a rebel that steals gear and then has a taser.
I
Well,
got an idea
alright,
for that.
I
I
brought
was
that
thinking-
up.
I was thinking about how Vigis in like WPL, if they have a bounty like other than self-defense manslaughter, they get sent straight. Vigi should be the same way. So they don't just
That got
pay off
turned
their
down in the
ticket.
last-
and
Yeah, I
be
mean, I
fine.
do agree. I do
Wait,
agree.
time
with
out. We
vigilantes.
brought this up. We brought this up at the live staff meeting. Digis will not be able to pay off their bounties at the courthouse if they have a robbery charge.
Hey, that was my idea. That was my idea.
It
What
was
about a
your, I
manslaughter?
gave you credit for it in the meeting too. That was the status update when I said we made it. That was what that was
Oh.
about. Genghis, I'm going to
yeah.
click on you now. I hope your avatar is better, and I'm going to move you out.
I moved my boy
Moved out
Logger
of
in
your
here.
channel.
Where's Log?
Move cyanide.
Logger.
Peter, you should be on site, dude.
Wait, where did Logger go?
Move
Is he-
Darwin.
Peter,
Darwin.
did you get my DM?
Darwin's. Hang on. No, I have not read your DM yet. Hang on.
User
Logger.
was moved to your
Did
All
you?
right, Darwin.
Oh wait, hold on.
Where
I gotta.
is he?
Jesus Christ.
Come on, Darwin.
All right, do you have a targeted question for an individual or for a group?
Give me just a second. I gotta mute my shit. Okay, so I have kind of a couple things.
Go ahead.
Okay, Rex, fuck you.
Bro, I fuck with this
Let's
guy.
keep this on topic.
Okay, alright, so
Rex AFK.
I've been watching most of the stream. In my opinion, Olympus is mostly fairly balanced. As a longtime player, a longtime member of the community, it's mostly fairly balanced.
Okay, I'd like to speak on that after, please.
Oh, hang on. Go ahead.
Okay, so.
No, Darwin's. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Like, do you have a question or?
Me?
My question is, how are we going to balance the APD towards the Civ? Because you can run into an APD member and they will just be like, hands up, without identifying you, without probable cause. So how, as a civilian, are we going to introduce probable cause into civilian life?
That comes in a matter of an APD like perspective.
I mean,
I've tried talking with Rex on this type of stuff, and it's just a matter of APD follow it. It's nothing we can really do on our side because it's like talking to other branches. I mean, of other factions, trying to convince other factions to do their things. So that's
Replace your name with
and
numbers.
again, it is a light RP server, so anyone can just open the list
Yeah.
and look at it. I mean,
dude,
there's
we
nothing
could
we
get
can
a
do about it
hardcore
as long as
roleplay.
as long as we're still advertised and as long as everyone knows that we're a light RP server, then there's nothing we can really do about
Can
it.
I speak? Can I speak, please?
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
For that, how do we feel about lieutenants believing there's 5 to 7 minute times for checking red zones?
I feel like that was a shot at someone I don't know.
Yeah.
But okay, I'd like to speak. I'd like to speak about like the APD being better than
Sorry.
civs or whatever. I would say like a year ago, like the rules are now would be balanced, right? But over time, I feel like the kids on Olympus have just gotten shittier and shittier, like shooting wise and shit. Like the only good gang is TI. Like I'm not even trying to be like an asshole, but like most gangs cannot do a successful Fed. There's
+1.
There's one or two. Like
I don't know, I haven't played
whether
for more
you
than a week.
accept it or not, like the kids on Olympus, the newer players are dog. Like that's why they don't fight cartels because they just get smacked and lose loadouts. That's why they don't do feds. They're getting smacked and losing loadouts.
It's not really the server's fault, though, dude.
No,
Free
it's
the
not.
boys so we can do feds.
Yeah, no, it's not the server's fault. It's like, but I think the server should adjust to their skill level. You know what I mean?
I get what you mean. I think the part of that
I
goes back
disagree
to. Sorry, Darwin.
I disagree with that statement. I don't think the server should adjust to anybody's skill level. I think that the server is pretty well balanced as it is, and that the player's skill level needs to adjust to the server skill level.
Darwin,
and
exactly.
saying too much arguing towards there's APD is overpowered because they have ghost hawks, or their civs are too overpowered because they have armed planes. The issue here is that people are not taking enough time to invest in their skill to progress on this server. That's the issue.
Okay, I'd
And
like to.
everybody wants
have
to take point at I'm not this, I'm not that. And the fact is that people need to work at their skill to increase their performance against the grade of the server. And APD is, as much as I fucking hate to say it, Rex, great job. I hate you. Suck my dick. Doing a good job running the APD.
I'm blacklisted.
No, fuck that. Keep him blacklisted.
Fuck
But it's a great balance. From what I can see as coming back from a veteran of the server who has been on both sides of the equator. So what needs to happen from here forward is I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry.
You know what happens when you're drinking.
Yeah, that happens.
I'm
that
high as a
happens.
kite. right
I
now.
appreciate you coming in.
Like it's pretty well balanced.
Balance is something that we've strived for in every decision that we make. It's something that we have to take into consideration anytime a civ gives their opinion in a staff meeting, and we have to try to balance whatever what their idea is with what's the best in the server. So I'm gonna go ahead and move you out. Thanks, Darwin. I appreciate it.
Shit's great. Don't chill.
User was moved out of
Wait,
Blood Moon.
did we talk about nerf or like feds yet?
We will.
Oh, okay.
Hey.
So
I can already tell you-
I have an insane
Hey,
idea
Matt,
to make everything
I can already
balanced.
tell you right now, Dilly.
No,
brought a
this
fed
idea, Deadpool, is not your beta.
Stop.
This is
All right,
fire.
it's time to move Blood Moon.
User was
Blood
moved to
Moon.
your channel.
It's been a while.
What's up?
Hey,
So I
Blood
have
Moon.
a suggestion. Right now, vehicle crafting is dog shit. No one does it. So what about if we made it so you're able to craft vehicle insurance for Blackwater vehicles?
Lit.
That's an interesting idea.
I mean, okay, first of all, I mean, how can something that's supposed to be on paper as insurance be crafted?
Illegal
What?
insurance.
What?
Well, you print out the paper, you write on it.
Well, there's no need for crafting for that.
It's like a fake ID, bro.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
we
dude.
should. There should be an
It's to
illegal
make it so
insurance.
people
Yeah, I
actually
mean, there should be an
pull shit.
illegal insurance,
do it
but
with
you don't need to
workboards,
go to a
too.
place for that. How about we switch out vehicle crafting for weapons crafting? 'Cause vehicle crafting is shit.
Nah, fuck it, add both.
I still don't think people will do weapons crafting, to be honest.
Why
with
not?
you,
It's a
as
free
well
Mark
as
1, a free Mark.
as
you know,
well
free
as
Mark
vehicle
two.
crafting.
I just want to point
That
out
up, Bumbo.
what the time that it takes to make that Mark 1 is gonna be more than it takes to do a backpack run of
Yeah,
moonshine.
exactly.
And with a backpack run of moonshine, you can afford like 5 Mark 1s versus the time to make one.
Yeah, but
Mark
you can
1.
make a bunch of Mark 1s in multiple in like a big run. You know what I mean?
But again,
Like
everybody
whole
said that
gang
about
squad
Ifrits
up.
too.
No, and,
like
and
day
not
one.
even.
No.
How about not even weapons crafting?
Wait, you
how
can
about,
make Ifrits now?
How about weapons
Yeah.
running?
You've been able to make it.
I
How
knew
about
that. I knew
weapons
that.
running,
Just
like
testing.
gun running, instead of like weapons
Active
crafting or any of that
Now,
shit?
hold on,
Gun
we're getting
running.
off topic here. Crafting vehicle insurance for Blackwater vehicles.
I'm down for that.
I just think we're allowed. I think you should just be allowed to go to any insurance place and just pay a little bit more for the illegal thing. I don't think we should have to craft it.
I mean, if we're talking about that, why don't we talk about the fact that we should be able to buy insurance when we buy the vehicle the first time?
I'm talking about Blackwater vehicles like Ghost Hawk.
Well, no, I know.
That's what
I
I'm
know
saying.
Let's stay on topic. Let's stay on topic
we
with
could
Blood
just
Moon.
be able to go to a either truck service station or the aerial service station and just buy it there for more. That's
That
it.
would be pretty retarded. Having it
How?
automatically.
Whoa.
Alright, I think
charge
next question
more.
we should pull in Fernando, bro.
Vehicle here, right?
Go
Okay,
ahead,
so
Cole.
illegal vehicle, you want to be able to just roll up into the damn freaking service station and just, oh, here, put some insurance on it? No.
Maybe
They should
not
make
there,
an
but
illegal-
maybe
This
add
Wait,
an
you want to
illegal.
craft
maybe
insurance?
Like a
Yeah,
Ghost
but
Hawk
maybe
or something.
maybe
These
add
are
it to.
vehicles that
You
are
can't
gonna be worth
afford
a
like
lot of money.
150k insurance.
Okay, but maybe you can add it to the rebel.
No, adding
Illegal vehicle added to the rebel.
Why do you want to
Insurance
add
onto a Ghost Hawk like
insurance?
you do on an Orca would be overpowered.
There needs to be something that actually is time consuming. That way, when you get this stuff, it's not just that easy to go and do. You know?
You could do it for amount of war points instead of cash, because people just didn't buy money on this. If you have war points, you actually have to earn up to
There
get,
you
like, an
go.
illegal
That
vehicle
actually
crafting.
makes more sense. Make a little
it's an
circle
illegal
near.
item,
Made
they're
it.
using
Yeah,
war
make a little
points.
circle at rebel. That's for the fucking illegal insurance, and use war points for it. Perfect.
I don't think you could be able to craft legal insurance. That's some pussy shit.
Yeah, like crafting an illegal insurance that makes no sense. When you can just make a little circle at the rebel and charge people war points.
Yeah.
Or at Warzone Rebel, there you go. Something.
I
don't know,
kinda like
somewhere.
the
Alright.
idea.
Alright.
Move Fernando in. He's a
Blood
good
Moon,
gang.
Blood Moon, thank you
gang
for
thing.
your question. It spurred quite a few ideas. I'm sure we're going to see one of those at least implemented. So keep up the good ideas, bud. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Blood Moon.
User was moved out.
Can we
of
move
channel.
Fernando in, please?
We're going to get real Kyle because he's been waiting, and then we're going to move
Fernando.
a couple more people.
Yep,
Button
Fernando.
was moved to your
What up,
channel.
Kyle?
Oh, what's up, boys?
Hey, what's up, Kyle?
So, Kyle, do you have a directed question for any of the potential Civ reps or a question for the group?
Alright, yeah, I got a question for the group.
Hey.
Oh, no.
What?
Alright. So, what are you gonna do to make sure lonely e-boys like me get the same amount of coochie as everybody else?
Well, Kyle, I know you're
Oh,
interested
God.
in getting
Kyle, I
pegged,
have to kick
so-
you out very quickly because of your
can sell
avatar.
in-game cash and
Talk to
Um,
Decimus.
But thank you for your question. I have to do this. I have to
Talk
like
to
really quick
Decimus.
do this. Ready?
Wait, I want to hear.
Button was kicked User out of
Okay.
your channel. Your
That
channel.
was
Pull in
quick.
Fernando. Pull in Fernando.
Fernando,
he's a good
Kyle,
gang.
Kyle, to answer your question, I've seen your face. You should have no problem getting coochie. All right, let's get Fernando.
What about Moob Jr.? Go Boom.
User was moved to
All
your
right,
channel.
Nando.
Yo, hello?
Do you have a
Hey,
directed question for anybody here?
Yo, we need to do something with cartels, bro. Shit's dead, bro. No one's playing anymore.
Okay, do you have a directed question for anybody in the group or a?
I want to say a statement. Can we, you know, instead
Shut
of...
up! You play Fortnite for 0 viewers
Do
on
you
Twitch.
have a directed
Hey,
question
respect the
for,
grind, dude.
for anybody here?
do I have a question? No, I want to say shit, bro. I need to
Yeah,
tell you.
let him speak, Peter. Let him speak.
You gotta buff cartels, bro. No one's fighting. There's no reason to cap cartels.
Buff him what way, Fernando? Get like more money or?
Yeah, it's like we don't cap cartels. We don't care. We just come out to fight. But if there's actual money, then we'll actually get cartels. 'cause
Yeah,
we'll get
defund the
paycheck.
loadouts, which means more fighting, which means
Exactly.
more gang life, and Olympus, the quality would
Like,
just be so much higher.
Olympus is obviously not dead, but gang life is, and like everyone
Yeah.
that used to play Olympus, and like, or at least that I think, like MC's gone, we're gone, Prime's gone because they're banned, but whatever. We'd be playing right now. There's fights and there's cartels, but
Read books, by the way.
there's no reason to get cartels, so there's no fighting. I say buff cartels.
Do
Buff
passive
cartels?
and
Yeah.
come off of cartels, dude.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Nando. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
User was kicked out of your
Alright,
channel.
I'm only kicking people because I don't have to look at their avatars to do it. Because Kyle's was if Genghis's wasn't gonna get me banned, Kyle's was.
Well, I didn't
What was
see
Kyle's? I
Kyle's.
didn't get
Kyle's.
to see it.
All right, so
put
we
your
have
avatar back on so I
Jamal
can see it.
Jones with a great question, and then we're gonna move on.
User was moved to your channel.
Jamal, you have a great question.
All right, really easy question for pretty much everybody that's cop right now. Are you willing to give up your rank or whitelist slot for your entire term?
I am.
Alright,
Yeah.
well, okay,
Fuck it,
first,
yeah.
okay. I mean, Matt doesn't even. Matt, shut up. You don't even have cop.
I'm blacklisted.
Second of all, I mean, why should we have to give up another faction just to represent the civs? Like I said before, my hours speak for itself. If you look at my hours, I'm well more than qualified. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry.
For themselves. Okay, just trying to help you
They
here, bud.
speak for themselves, or itself, that I am more than qualified to represent civs. I have 3,000 plus hours and only 700 and something on cop. So I mean.
Okay, that's cool. But
And again, wait, one more thing. Who are you? Thank you.
What?
Oh my.
Alright,
All
that's
right,
a relevant question.
ignoring the guy that thinks it matters you have hours. Everybody else though, are you willing to give it up for like, let's say it's a
I'll
whatever the
do it,
fucking
dude.
term is?
I mean, fuck yeah, because I'm blacklisted, but like, you shouldn't have to. That's retarded, bro.
I mean, it's a bias thing. If you're sitting on cop, like Homicide was, I had somebody link me.
Bro,
to
if
clip
you're
couple
like
days
a
ago.
deputy or a PO, you don't. Bro,
No,
one's
wait.
trying to be
Let him
biased
finish.
towards
Let him
cops.
finish. Let him finish.
I
I want to hear this shit.
I got linked a clip a couple days ago with the, Homicide current civ rep, and everything he was saying for his idea was completely biased towards.
Oh
AP.
wait, a clip on my stream when I was talking to Deadpool. It wasn't about being completely biased towards
I
APD.
get this guy out of here.
It was
Move
first
Connor
of all, the conversation was about certain illegal stuff and blah blah blah, and how to balance it within what is
what about
about
everybody else?
the APD.
Yeah,
Well,
so
I mean, dude, your question makes no sense.
So yeah, no, I wouldn't, because having corporal lets me understand how things would be on both sides. As a civ rep, I would not feel that just being a civ is beneficial to the entire thing. You need to have a viewpoint from every single side. So if you were elected civ rep, say if you ran, would you give up medic? No, probably not. Like,
I would.
that would make no sense.
Fuck yeah,
I mean,
medic's
medics are
trash.
pretty useless, so I would give it up if I had medic.
No, I
Whoa,
think that's why
Mercury.
me
Hi,
and
Mercury.
Nerdy. That's
Sorry,
why I think
Mercury.
me and Nerdy are a great combination, because he's not like hate, but like you're kind of a career cop. I am blacklisted from cop, so I
Exactly.
only pretty much do civ, and you do fucking cop, and then
Yeah,
I mean,
we collaborate
Matt and
both.
Nerdy 2018.
Yeah,
But you gotta
fuck
look
yeah.
at it as, what is a career cop?
Someone
a
that
career
doesn't
cop,
play civ,
No,
bro.
a career cop is someone that doesn't play civ and has no hours on civ.
Yeah,
Well, you
Most of
have
the
to have
people that are
hours.
most
Bro, he
of the
just
people
said somebody who doesn't have
or has less hours on civ than
Nah,
cop.
yes,
Not
but you
really.
can.
That's
you
a
can,
career cop.
No, listen. It goes from stages. You can be in a career cop stage and then go back to a civ stage. Let's say you have 2,000 hours on civ, right? And then, but you have 3,000 arma, and the past 1,000 you've been on cop. That's a career cop. That's someone that doesn't play civ. They don't know anything about fighting cartels. They're not really interactive in gang life. That's a career cop. Even though you have those 2,000 hours, that doesn't mean shit. Yeah, you've played a fuck ton of civ,
I have
but
3,000 hours, and I've played most of those hours in cartel gangs before I started playing
I
cop.
have 300
yes, but
hours on
cartels
the server,
have
I can
changed,
vote.
bro.
All right, so would you be willing to do like, let's say, fucking only 10 hours a week then?
I mean, I don't care. Yeah, I mean, would
Who the fuck
Alright,
plays
Jamal,
Jamal?
I'm gonna stop this here. I'm gonna stop.
Wait, hold on. All right, I gotta go here. Like, I'm gonna go catch a movie, but I just want to put this
Ooh,
out
hot
there.
take.
I am perfectly willing for anybody who gets civ rep in the future to, essentially place them on a hold if they would like at their, I don't care if you're civ rep and
Bruh.
cop,
How
but
about
if you want,
unblacklist?
if you want your whitelist taken away for the duration of your tenure, you may receive it with
How about my whitelist
probably a
getting back?
reeval once you're back.
All right, I'm gonna move you out, Jamal.
Alright,
I
I'm gonna go.
appreciate your question. Rex, thank you for being here and helping out. Hang on, Matt. Jamal, thank you for your question. I didn't think of that one or anything like that. But asking somebody
Buddy left
to
your
stop
channel.
playing a role to represent the civs, I don't think is an intelligent decision, specifically because of what Nerdy said. Because having multiple whitelists and multiple ways that you play the server gives you a much more rounded and realistic expectation when bringing an idea to the staff. Somebody who has not experienced everything that Olympus has to offer might just want tanks for civs, and that's their whole standpoint as a civ rep, and that whole tenure is wasted because they don't know what the whole server could use. So having a well-rounded view of everything, I don't think is a bad.
Yeah, I understand. I
Yeah,
think Connor has a really good question.
All right, I'm gonna move you out, Jamal.
I got
cards for medics.
I got a question.
User
Moving
was
Connor.
moved.
That kid literally has been asking that same question all
That kid's
fucking
retarded.
week on the forum. He's a fucking monkey.
Hey, easy with the R word, by the way.
Whoa.
Enough.
I'm not
My
saying
bad,
it in a,
Peter. I didn't mean.
Hey, I'm not saying it in a
Enough.
fucked up way.
Enough. Mercury, go ahead, bud.
Well, I've heard some comments. Apparently, medics are useless.
Yes, I would like to. No, time out. Stop talking.
From the
Stop.
perspective,
Stop.
why are they useless to you?
Homicide, you've already been denied in the future from Kyle Lake. Good luck to you, Kyle, by the way, for all future revives. But no, we're not talking about the R&R right now. They're not going anywhere. You guys say they're useless. It's a whitelisted faction.
Brain dead.
They have more hours on the server than you do this summer, Matt.
And they're still so brain dead. It's
so
unbelievable.
And we're gonna go ahead and
so
bring in.
brain dead, it's unbelievable.
We're gonna go ahead and bring in Connor, and then we're gonna do a couple more questions, and then we're gonna dip. All right, here we go.
User was
Connor.
moved to your channel.
What's up, homie?
Connor, head shaker.
Head shaker.
What's up?
Right.
Legalized
Basically,
PDO
my
hiders.
idea is a cartel event each weekend, and you get points for it, and then at the end of the month you get loot or money as a prize.
We were just talking about
Okay,
that.
so yes,
Yeah,
the Olympus League will be coming out. There will be more cartel fights. Obviously, we have gang wars coming up. I'm going to be doing more smaller events like that are not going to be.
Yeah, but it should be a frequent thing.
Yeah,
each weekend,
they're going to be
and then you
way
get
more
big
frequent than normal gang wars because apparently people's routers work a lot better if they're smaller events.
I got DOS, yeah.
There's literally no fights now. That's dead.
It'll be
Because
that stuff will happen.
There's no
The thing
fights
is-
because no one wants to fight an aim locker. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, thanks, head shaker.
Bye,
User
McGregor.
was moved out of your
Fucking
channel.
love that guy, dude.
Okay.
Damn, you suck his cock.
Yeah, sounds like you're going a little
When you
deep
want to
there,
get
bud.
in TI.
Nah, he's a cool dude, bro.
When you want to get
No,
TI.
he isn't, dude. He's Irish. He's disgusting.
So Homicide,
Oh,
how's that
man.
knee pad working for you?
Bro, I fuck with
What
like the
knee
real.
pad?
Enough. You guys are getting to be a little too much to handle. Okay, so, here I don't have any more questions from chat.
I have a
that,
fire
I see-
idea.
You can. Okay, we're gonna actually give each one of you an opportunity to say something, and then we're going to end the debate. So we're gonna start at the top of the list. Colt, any parting thoughts, final words? You got a minute. The floor is yours.
Yeah, if you're voting for any of these other dumbasses, you're just literally wasting your vote because they're just talking shit in your fucking brain right now.
I'll kick you in the
Pretty
throat,
much.
kid.
Like literally, all they're doing is just feeding what you want, and they're not gonna actually do what you want. I already know how it's gonna go. Pretty much, we're gonna end up the same way it was back with Orgando or no 3-up and Buffalo Bill. Basically, they say all this shit to make you get them voted in, and they're not gonna do jack shit. That's pretty much what it is. So if you want your community to be the same thing it was when the first election came around, or whatever the second election, go
Third
ahead,
election.
vote for these dumbasses and get them in.
What about
That way
me,
they can do
Colt?
jack shit and not actually play or even give a fuck about this damn community, all right?
So how would you change it, Colt?
Stop, Matt. You've been
Thank you,
nonstop.
Colt.
Colt, thank you for your piece. Nerdy guy, you got a minute. Go ahead.
All right, so let me tell you a fact, and it's going to be a spoiler that essentially, no matter what happens, someone's going to be upset with whoever wins, and whether it's me or whether or not it's a person that's a cop. I'm not here to be your cop rep. I'm not here to be your civ rep. I'm here to be someone that wants to give you a more fun experience on the server, right? Because I was around in 2016. I was around in 2017 when we had a lot more fun. There were fights, feds, blackwaters, all that stuff. It was fun, events, all that type of stuff. That's what we need to get back to. That's why I'm here. I want to make things interesting for the small, the medium-sized gangs that are very underappreciated and very underrepresented in this community, as well as the larger gangs. I want everybody to be able to come to me for me to recommend something or me to give them an idea on something. I don't want someone, just because they didn't like me in the voting process, to shy away from giving me an idea in the future.
Okay.
So,
Corey, go ahead.
So basically, I'm not gonna, suck any of you off. I'm not gonna promise anything. In fact, I haven't promised anything. I've simply given ideas and said that I would create a voting process for what you guys want. I've heard a lot of stuff that, which I do definitely agree with Cole, is just being said to, entice people to vote for them, and when it actually comes around, nothing is gonna happen. So I mean, really, all I'm trying to be is, the voice of what you guys want, the poll, and just, relay to staff what you guys want. Because I mean, I don't know, just trying to be the average guy. I'm not promising all these like useless promises that aren't going to mean anything. That is eventually just going to get, making you hate at Civ Rep just because you made these promises and you can't fulfill any of them. Anyways, to Homicide.
Homicide, go ahead. You got 1 minute.
All right, check this out, Olympians. I'm the realest motherfucker in here. We all know that.
Dupe that
Ain't
shit,
no ifs,
dog.
ain't no ifs, ands about it. I will dupe my fucking. No, I'm just kidding. But check this out. Use vote me as Civ Rep. I will host a Civ Rep, a civilian ideas every week or whenever it is, right before every meeting on my stream, so you guys can tell me what you want and what is needed for you guys, not for me, because I'm here for the civs, for the community in general. Some of you guys may say, Homicide is a career cop, blah blah blah, but 3,000 plus hours on civ says it all. I'm here for you guys, and it is what it is. And just vote the realest motherfucker in office. That's all.
All right, Lorax, go ahead.
All right. What I want to do, I want to get illegal insurance through war points. You could put it somewhere on Warzone Island. The ability to get passive money from capping a cartel if I'm holding down arms or whatever. You get a passive income paycheck every 5 minutes in your gang bank account. It'll be a small amount, but it's still worth going out and getting the cap. And yeah, that's pretty much all I want to do. Also, free the boys.
Are you Canadian?
How did you know, dude?
I'm from northern Michigan, my dude. I just know.
Say
Bro, Michigan is such a lame
Car?
state.
Yeah, say car.
Can you say the word car for me, Lorax?
Car?
Yeah.
Car?
There it is.
There it
Car?
is.
Alright,
Okay. For the one that I was not waiting for, Matt.
Let's get it. I have a fire idea, okay? To keep, because like a big problem is that people aren't doing feds and shit because, it's overpowered. Really, they're bots and shit. But so you said Jesse could something about doing everything, whatever he said. He could do anything you think of, some shit like that. I thought of this idea. So in feds this is for like the smaller gangs,
15
right?
more seconds.
Bro, come on. This is.
Why should you be Civret?
No, you didn't let me explain my Fed thing that you told me I could.
It's why you should be set up, not an idea for feds.
Yep, but you said you talked about it and we didn't talk about it, so now I'm talking about it.
Okay.
At time.
Vote for me, don't be a fucking pussy.
Okay.
Homicide can't read or write, no offense.
Out of your
I
channel.
can read and I can write perfectly spell. If I speak in the way I
Homicide,
speak.
as much as that was rude, I've seen you type. We're gonna sit
I
down
know
and
that.
work on some stuff.
No. I type the way I speak, bro. Like I speak slang. Like I grew up. Like that's just how I speak,
It's fine.
dog.
It's
like,
fine. It's fine. Nobody's adding you. All right. With that, whatever the hell that was, I'm gonna give you guys the stats for current votes for Civ Reps, and we're gonna end this debate. As it sits, number one right now in the lead by a considerable amount of votes is that nerdy guy with 140. Matt the Savage is in second place with 83. Homicide right on his tail with 82. Colt in fourth place with 56, and in fifth place is Pablo Escobar with 46. So the votes, guys, get them in. If you're waiting to do your vote until after this, you guys heard what these guys all had to say. Vote for the guys who you think will actually represent your beliefs and what you want to see on the server. A lot of people in the past have voted for the popular pick or voted for their friends. That never worked out. We've had Civ Rep terms where they've literally brought up nothing for 4 months and were useless. We had other ones who brought up dumb ideas that would never be implemented. So if you guys want to vote for somebody who's going to be your voice in the staff meetings and who will bring up the ideas and make Olympus the community you want it to be. So with that being said, guys, thank you guys for the panel. Thank you for being here. Admins and mods who are in the channel as well, helping me get rid of these guys and kind of moderate this. I appreciate you guys is here as well. This is going to conclude the CivRep debate episode of the Peter Long podcast. I appreciate all of you guys, and I will see you all next week. Have a nice day.